Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Are you searching for a better choice for your child's education? At Notre Dame Schools, we provide superior education in a safe and nurturing environment. With smaller classroom sizes, your child receives the individual attention they deserve. Looking to the future, your child can earn college credits for a fraction of the price. Notre Dame Schools develop leadership skills with a priority on values and respect. Enroll today. Visit us at NotreDameUtica.org to learn more. Notre Dame Schools, where education, values, and opportunity meet.
Stop! School bus drivers needed. Durham Bus Services has a unique opportunity to drive school buses, from minivans to full-size buses. All buses are automatic, air-conditioned, and easier than ever to drive. We're looking for reliable members of our community to learn while you earn and get up to $23.50 an hour, a matching 401k, medical, and paid time off. Apply online at nellc.com or call 315-275-8329.
Go with your gut. Your dog's immune system is based in the gut. A diet lacking in nutrients can cause itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE. Dinovite.
It took a grand total of 2 weeks. The dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out.
Try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started. On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
We have a lot of pretty cool stuff today going on. Excited. We'll talk about the Beach Boys. This should be your morning. To make sure you have the 6 songs in place if you want to win these tickets and go to see the Beach Boys tomorrow night. This should be your morning because tomorrow morning, bright and early, we'll begin taking and just so you know how we're going to do it. We're not going to air, so somebody will call in with the 6 songs, and they'll whip them off, and they're not going to air them. We won't air them.
Oh, okay.
Until the final 5th pair of tickets is given away.
Okay.
And we'll do it all morning long, because I don't want to give away the answer, right?
So, if you'll bear with me for a second here, Mike Francesa, a former sports talk guy in New York City, used to do this contest where he would give away Super Bowl tickets, or as he called them, the Super Bowl. You go to the Super Bowl. And he would do this thing, though, where you had to answer 5 questions, and they were different categories. There was like a true, false. There was, I don't know, but, and he'd ask you, who's your favorite team? Who's your favorite team? So you'd say, I'm a Jets fan, right? And so they'd be in the Jets vein, the questions. And then the last one was an audio question. But what would happen was, he'd only have 10 questions in each topic.
And he'd recycle them.
I mean, this contest would roll for hours.
Yep.
So if you listen long enough, you'd get all the answers.
You have all the answers. We won't allow that to happen tomorrow, but I think everybody's going to have the answers, to be honest. So you got to get all 6, and if at the end of the morning, which I highly doubt, we haven't gotten all 6, we'll take the next person who has 5 of the 6. But I don't believe we'll get there. I think this is easy enough if you're a Beach Boys fan. So I'll play the medley coming up in a second again. But this morning's where you want to lock it in. Make sure you've got all 6 songs. Also this morning, and I don't know if we have as a group settled in on the importance of of what's going to happen today, but it's a pretty big deal. So Beach Boys would be considered one of the greatest bands in rock history, rock and roll history, one of the great bands of the 60s, and a band that continued to be popular, very much like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, as the years went on. Continued to, Kokomo was a #1 hit in I guess that would be the 80s, right? Or was it 90s? Might have been 90s.
Really?
I'll look it up.
I can look it up.
Somebody look it up.
Yeah.
When that song hit #1, and that's just amazing that they hit a #1 song so late. And the Beach Boys...
1988.
The Beach Boys were, they had a couple of other hits with was it the Fat Boys? Remember they did some rap type parodies or hip hop types versions of the songs, and the Beach Boys would perform with them. But that's pretty big, right? That's pretty huge. And being one of the great bands of rock and roll. And imagine us having one of them on the air. That would be incredible. But this morning, we'll speak with Mike Love.
That's awesome.
That's really, really cool. And as a longtime fan of the Beach Boys, and somebody who, and by the way, he's kind of controversial. He's had his controversial moments over the years. But as somebody who's appreciated them, it's a big deal to be able to talk to him. Davey set it up. You got everything in place, Davey?
Yes, sir.
He used his Jimmy Fallon connections, being very close with Jimmy, to be able to arrange for this interview, right? You do what you got to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah, imagine
what's the link? I don't mean his son, Lincoln.
The link is the power. The power that Davey carries with him to be able to make connections with people like this.
Little lightning bolts on his fingertips.
So, later on this morning, we'll speak with Mike Love of the Beach Boys. Tomorrow night, they'll be at the Turning Stone, and we have your tickets. So we're excited about that.
And we're giving away, this isn't like one pair of tickets. We have 5.
We have 5 pairs to give away, and actually 6 because Davey's going to be escorting everybody, so he needs tickets to get in, too. This is exciting. Anyway,
I wonder if those magic fingertips will work on the on the slot machines or on the
you never
blackjack
know.
table.
You never know.
Well, he doesn't think so, apparently.
You don't, Davey? No. Okay. All right. Well, then stay clear of them if you're not confident. Stay clear.
Yes. That'll turn you around real quick.
Okay, so that'll happen this morning. Pretty excited about that. This morning we're searching for what do you think is the best sandwich in this area. For Central New York, we talked about this yesterday. What's the best sandwich? What is a sandwich? What is a sandwich? A sandwich is anything that fits between 2 pieces of bread. Or maybe even you could have a sandwich that only has 1 piece of bread.
Oh, I'm notorious for that.
Right? What do they call that? They call that I don't know. There's a name for it. But what do you think is the best? It could be a submarine sandwich, a hoagie, that sort of thing. It could be a Reuben. It could be, the list goes on. Egg and olive. My favorite sandwich is the egg and olive. All right. Well, good. You're a simple person. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I do like the egg and olive.
Do you think that a person's sandwich or the style of it has to do with a reflection of their intelligence?
Well, it depends. If you're eating,
you got an egg and olive over there. What a simple guy.
Right. I guess. Maybe. Peanut butter and jelly might be yours. Love the peanut butter and jelly.
Never in a peanut butter and jelly
Peanut
sandwich.
butter and banana sandwich. What?
I know. I don't know. I as a child, it wasn't like something. I feel like because I'll make them for my son. If he's like, Dad, I'm kind of hungry.
You've never bitten into it to see what you're feeding your kid?
Oh no, absolutely, no.
Okay.
Did I say I'd never eaten one?
You said you'd never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
No. Growing up, it wasn't like something.
Okay.
I think for so many kids growing up, that's like a go-to that a parent will.
I guess it wasn't.
And I
for
do it
us
with
either.
my son a lot.
It wasn't for us either. It was like every once in a while you'd have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or you could make. It was one of the early on. You could make yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That's true.
right?
That's true.
You didn't have to heat up the oven or you don't have to fry it or toast it or anything like that. You just although a toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich is really, really good.
I was just going to say, the issue for me is if I'm going to have jelly or jam or something on bread, I want the bread toasted.
Fair enough. But I would say this. This is not necessarily that. This is which local place do you go to? Who has the best sandwich in Central New York? Who has the best sandwich in Central New York? And we'll take your submissions on that this morning. And you can throw them at Davey. And, if you want to come on the air and talk about it and tell us how much you love that sandwich, feel free to do that. 315-736-0186 is the phone number for that. What else do I have today?
Do we have
a sheet printed, Davey? Can you grab me that?
That should be printed. So I want to mention, we'll talk with Chuck Marshall coming up next hour.
Stewarts.
This is about the Stewarts in Frankfurt. Now, I will tell you that I had the opportunity, and maybe Joe Lode can bop in on this for a little background, because I had a chance to talk to, bear with me here for a second. Where is Joe's number? He's got Joe Lavella, I believe is his name, and he was the one, he and his wife ran the Melrose Market out there in Frankfurt, and I had a chance to talk to him last night.
And they're going to be opening up a meat market, right?
No, I don't think he is. I think there's going to be one opening.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're the ones who have sold now to Stewart's, and he declined to come on the air. He said it wasn't something he wanted to get into, and then he said, I'll tell you, people come up to me, and because Stewart's had made an offer to buy like 7 or 8 years ago, and he said, you wouldn't believe the things, it's like the telephone game, and he goes, I have people come up to me to this day who said, you turned down $4 million from Stewart's for that market? And he goes, if they had offered me $4 million, I'd have walked out right then, left the doors open. They could have taken the produce, the meat, and everything on the shelves for $4 million. And but they have sold it. And he just said, look, we took it over in 2003, right after, I think his parents or her parents were involved with the business.
It's been a family operation.
And they took it over, and he's like, it's a lot of work. And he goes, I'll be honest with you, I cut the meat, and there's a few things I do. He goes, but my wife runs this place, and she does all the, you got to arrange for inspections, or you have to get permits to do this.
I cannot imagine how hard it is to run who knows is right over there over by Home Depot. They know what it's like to run a supermarket, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to run a family-operated supermarket.
Shenanigans.
Hard to run a family-operated supermarket today, where it used to be the standard. Everybody, every town had a hometown market. And I can't imagine how it's such a competitive thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the nice thing about Melrose is you used to be able to go over to the right side where the bakery was, and they'd have sausage bread. They'd have the homemade breads over there, and all of it. It just was, and the meat market was the best. We would shop there often when I lived in the Valley. But then, I'm not going to travel all the way there to do my grocery shopping. So, but the place was busy. But I can't imagine how hard that was to run it. So they end up getting a deal. And Stewart's came back again because they're looking to get a larger footprint for their stores.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right next door. I'm not surprised.
So another thing he said, he goes, people just take for granted. And, when you're like basically a mom and pop shop that's trying to run a store that size and serve as many people as they did, he's like, I'd get up at 2:00 in the morning just so I could defrost a freezer, move everything out to another freezer, and have to have it back in at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. when we opened, just so I could defrost this freezer, you know?
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that, I think, and he said, and I don't want to, give away his age, but I guess I'll say it, he goes, I'm 66 now. I don't want to be doing this every single day,
And Melrose was also an Italian grocery store. So Frankfurt's an Italian town.
Mm-hmm.
You could get all the Italian specialties, and you'd pay a little more.
Yeah,
you're going to pay a little more. You're going to pay a price chopper.
Yeah.
They don't have the same buying power, although they're co-ops they would buy into. But yeah, you're 66 years old. Your kids don't want to take it over, and it's time where it's time for retirement.
Yeah.
So did he get $2 million?
Oh, he didn't tell me. That's not disclosed. But you should have heard him. It's one of those things you can hear it in somebody's voice as he starts telling me the story, and he starts busting up laughing on the other end of the phone too.
Yeah.
But he said I'd have walked if they hit me with that number. He goes, I'd have walked right out of the store, left it open, and said, take whatever you want. You want the produce? You want the racks?
That's right.
I will mention, and this is he and I chatted about Joe Load a little bit. He said they closed last week, and he goes, I did my best to sell all the freezers and the shelves and everything that's inside of a grocery store that's not groceries. And he goes, I still have some stuff left. He goes, this is my backyard right now. So if you know anybody, and I said, well, Joe can hook you up.
Yeah.
Joe loves to sell things. He loves to buy things and sell things.
Yeah.
And he, maybe I'll give him a call. But it was an interesting, quick conversation I had with him last night. I appreciate his time. He didn't want to come on the air and get into the whole thing. He just said it's time. It was time.
Great meat market too. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a chance.
Best place I think in the valley to get meat.
I went in there when the news of this kind of broke, and it just you don't have that feel when you walk into a store anymore.
No,
you can tell it had been around for some time. It had served that community for some time, and it had that nostalgic feel to it. It was kind of cool.
No parking lot.
Right, and no parking lot.
No parking lot. You'd park on the street, and if you brought your stuff out in which some people did with a cart, you're right on the sidewalk. And practically almost in the street, and it became the grocery store where you'd get your specialties. But years ago, you remember, you didn't go to the grocery store once a week because you didn't have the refrigeration options at home.
Mm-hmm.
People would go every day, or they'd go every other day, and you'd take out what you needed. Versus today, where you take out this big shopping cart and you take everything home and you have it for the week. But it was a different time. And it existed through all of our modern times, which is not easy. Whereas Chenantries has a different situation, right? They have the big parking lot. They have become the supermarket. Really, they were always that. That's how they started.
Yeah.
So they can compete. But Melrose still stayed. The Village Market in Mohawk was another one down there. Aiello's grocery store in Herkimer. I could talk about a ton of those places.
He mentioned that because for some time, and again, he said, I'm not a historian on this.
Or Alios, as they used to call it, depending on if you got, I don't know, it was back then, you see this foreign Italian name, it's like, how do you pronounce it? Is it Alios?
Yeah. And people mispronounce it for generations, probably.
Now, keep in mind, this is a completely different Aiello family than Katie Aiello. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
No, I think it's the same family.
But he mentioned the Aiellos or the Aiellos, depending on, I guess, how you pronounce
Alios
it.
Is what people used to call it.
Alios.
And I'm like, dude, you look at the word. It's not even close to Alios.
But at some point, it was a market, and then I'm trying to remember the name of the business that he mentioned. But they are kind of like a chain. They had taken it over maybe from the mid-'80s to the mid-'90s.
Okay.
And then I think he said the Aiellos were involved in running it for a while. And then I believe his father ended up buying it back when they were looking to get out. So he had owned it or operated it in the 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
So it had served the community, certainly that property, in a great capacity for a long time. At some point in this month, and I think within the next couple of weeks, what is there now and a house on the end of the road will be demolished, and they'll start building a larger Stewart's campus property.
Wow.
Property. Right
well,
there.
It'll be like that's going to be a lot of room. They'll have a lot of room there.
Yeah.
That's Stewart's. Let's see. Oh yeah, and somebody's saying the Herkimer Chief in Herkimer. That was a great meat market years ago. But then the big conglomerates came in and kind of took over, and it's where we are today. And man, do you compete for shelf space if you're a local product? Places like Melrose and Chenantries are really special because you can get your local products in there, whereas it's hard to get into a Hannaford or a Price Chopper. Right. Shelf space is extremely valuable and competitive.
And then in regard to the question about the best sandwich, Tom in Rome says the Brooklyn Pickle Special. That was his recommendation that he sent to us this morning.
Boy, everybody's loving the Brooklyn Pickle.
So I have a confession
I got
to make.
a couple others, too.
I haven't been there yet. Maybe
I've been there. Listen.
Is the pickle that good?
All I'm going to tell you is, while I'm sure the sandwiches are very, very good, it does not compete with a New York City. I've heard people say it's just like a New York City deli. No, it's not.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you.
I actually was in there. And
I've eaten there several times when it was in Syracuse.
Great.
I haven't been in the Utica one yet.
Yeah.
So what's the name of it? It's the Brooklyn Pickle Special?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. Tom, if you could follow up with a text and or a message, just let us know.
What's the name of it? I need the name of the sandwich. Julie, working downtown, it's one of the lunch choices. I had a sandwich there the one day, and the bread and other ingredients were not fresh. A very big disappointment. Usually it's good there, but now I feel like I'm taking a chance when we go there. Ooh, sorry about that. But that's brand new. You should be at the peak of. You should be at your peak right now, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe not your peak, but everything should be brand new, fresh, brand new. Surprise military drill from Iran in the Persian Gulf about to ramp up. That's something to keep an eye on here over the course of the next few hours. Jonathan Savage with Fox News with an update here this morning. Jonathan, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
All right, what do we know about this?
Yeah, this was Iran's Revolutionary Guard. That's the branch of the armed forces which is focused on ensuring the country's ideological integrity and preventing foreign interference. They used ships, drones, and missiles to practice landing on 2 islands. They used fast boats, paratroopers, drones, and truck-launched surface-to-sea missile systems. It's a reminder, I think, from Iran's point of view, of whose turf this is, given the U.S. is about to beef up its military presence there.
People forget Iran is one of the most powerful militaries in the world. I think we forget that.
Absolutely, it is, and certainly one of the most powerful in the region, and it's got a lot to defend, really. This is all happening in what's called the Strait of Hormuz. It's a very narrow little strait. It's Iran's only access to the open ocean, and 1/5 of the world's oil supplies pass through there. So put those things together, and you get a very solid basis for Iran wanting to have complete control over the waterway, and that's one of the reasons why it has such a strong and active navy.
Yeah, and think about how important that is to the rest of the world.
Absolutely, and when Iran do things like they've done recently, like swarming ships, seizing oil tankers, it's a reminder to the world that Iran could cause a global crisis if it so dared, and also an attempted message to the U.S. when the ships they seize, for example, are American ships. And I think what they've been doing is also good practice for if they do want to cause a global crisis one day. The United States is sending thousands of Marines, thousands of sailors, an amphibious assault ship through the Persian Gulf. So they've already sent warplanes, fighters, and a destroyer. So tension really ramping up in that region.
And I think the other part of this that we have to militarily keep track of is the progression of the Chinese military. What's going on in Russia, in North Korea? All of this together with Iran, it does pose a threat to the rest of the world.
Absolutely. The Chinese military is, of course, enormous. It has the largest navy in the world, if you count the number of ships. Russia and China are carrying out military drills together in the Asia-Pacific region. And at the moment, there's definitely a polarization in the world between the United States and its allies on one side and this growing alliance between China, Russia, and Iran in some cases. They are joining forces in some cases as well to carry out drills. So there is this polarization happening at the moment.
Yeah, that is concerning because I just watched and read about last night. There was a maneuver what's called an intercept where a U.S. jet was intercepted by a Chinese pilot, and nothing terrible happened, but seems to be a lot of taunting or flipping the bird, if you will, that's been going on lately. So
those become very dangerous situations. One mistake and it could lead to something much, much worse. Yeah. Jonathan Savage, as always, thank you so much for the update. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
Have a great day. Let me break. We'll come back. 6:42. I'll play that medley for you, the Beach Boys medley. We'll talk a little bit about Today, the president expected to be arrested and arraigned. The former president we're talking about. You never know which one these days, based on all the stories that are out there. 642 WIBX.
Mike Carl's, we have deals and we have steals. How about a 12.5-inch queen hybrid mattress with 2 pillows? Was $7.99, now just $3.99. Now that's a steal, only at Mike Carl's.
The government is spying on you. No surprise, I know. But did you know the banks are helping them? And did you know that withdrawing your cash from the bank can be very risky? That's right. Let Swiss America educate you about this. Banks are now required to spy on us for the government, and they report any behavior they think is suspicious. You'll be shocked when you read The Secret War on Cash from Swiss America. This new war against cash is really a war against the Constitution, against all freedom-loving Americans. You must read The Secret War on Cash. Get your free copy by calling or texting 800-630-1490. That's 800-630-1490. This war on cash is growing daily, and it also includes all forms of digital money. So please get and read The Secret War on Cash free by calling or texting right now at 800-630-1490. That's 800-630-1490. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, I want to tell you about an opportunity with Oneida County Department of Family and Community Services. Full details right now at WIBX950.com. It is the featured opportunity in our online job fair. Oneida County has an urgent need for hiring caseworkers. They start at over $51,000. That also includes 13 paid holidays plus a floating holiday, additional time off, New York State retirement, and much more. The day-to-day work is very fulfilling because you'll be helping families and children in need, local families in our area. It also provides an opportunity to gain valuable experience in the human services field at an entry level or on a shorter-term basis. Eventually, you can move on to a higher level or different field, become a lawyer, state trooper, social worker, etc. Full details on our website. Just go to WIBX950.com, click on the CNY Online Job Fair to learn about opportunities right now with the Oneida County Department of Family and Community Services.
The Rome Capitol Theater presents the summer stage production of Disney's The Little Mermaid, tonight through Saturday at 7:30.
That voice, I must find it.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Reserved seat advance sale tickets are available now for the summer stage production of Disney's The Little Mermaid, August 3rd through 5th at the Rome Capitol Theater. For more information, visit romecapital.com.
Heritage Logging and Tree Removal is your trusted tree removal specialist. With today's extreme weather conditions and new invasive species wreaking havoc on your trees, you need to protect your valuable property and your precious loved ones. As soon as you suspect any problem, call and Heritage Logging will be there to assess your trees and give 24-hour emergency services. For all your tree care needs, call or text 315-796-2941 or visit heritagelogging.com. That's heritagelogging.com.
Attention, your money is now controlled by the U.S. government.
Picture a world where your every purchase is monitored, tracked, and controlled by those in power to suppress the freedoms of those they see fit. Hi, my name is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and New York Times bestselling author. And right now, I've become very focused on the impending rollout of the central bank digital currency. This is not a work of fiction. It's a terrifying reality looming on the horizon. But there is a bit of good news. I've partnered with Advantage Gold to offer you a solution. They are specialists in converting your traditional assets, like those inside an IRA or 401k, into tangible assets such as physical gold and silver. Don't allow your money to be controlled. Claim your free gold protection kit from Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000, 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor.
Call 800-900-8000.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
What was that?
I just
Did you want to tell me that off the air?
Yes.
All right, hold on. Let the music play. All right, we're back.
I guess I could say that, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's any big deal. I mean, I just read something that somebody said they felt the sandwiches weren't fresh. I didn't mean to do that. I normally wouldn't do that.
Well,
but if somebody's saying that's the case, then that was their experience. What am I going to say?
I'm on their website right now, and I think their prices are pretty low.
You like the
quite
prices.
affordable.
Okay.
I expected it to be a higher price. I don't even know at some of the chains, the national chains, that they offer prices this low. But I don't know. I was and these photos, food looks great.
In the news today, of course, the former President Trump being arraigned. There are like 70 charges or something against the current president right now. It's unbelievable. Now, if you listen, depending on where you're getting your information, even yesterday listening to Kilmeade, this is ridiculous. These charges are ridiculous. You go to D.C., of course you're going to be indicting. I don't know. I find that some of these charges are problematic, and it'll be very interesting to see how this develops. Is it political? I'm sure it's political for some, but at the end of the day, when were they going to do this? And let's not forget that the former president chose to run for president. And there is no denying the fact that if he's running for president, campaign funds can be used to pay for legal bills. That's a big part of why I believe Donald Trump has run. Do you think he really wants to be president at this point? I really wonder. But I got to tell you, it helps when campaign dollars can be used to pay your legal bills. So with that said, I don't listen to Democrats or to liberal talking heads when they're talking about this case. I listen to Republicans, people who are maybe were close to the president and now have come out against him. Mike Pence, if you listen carefully to what he says, although he's very reserved, because the fear is if you say something bad about Trump, you get crushed. You get crushed by his base, and you can't win a primary without his base. That becomes the real problem.
Yeah.
But William Barr, extremely critical. These are not liberals. These are people
Rhinos.
who are enormously conservative. So but they don't like him. That's why they're doing it. Stop the whining crap.
I know.
Okay,
it's so funny.
This is a person that apparently can do no wrong, no matter how many people accuse him or how many pieces of evidence pop up. He can do no wrong, and everything is a political witch hunt.
I know.
Listen to yourself. Come on.
I know.
You sound ridiculous when you get down that road. But you know what? If you're in Congress right now and you have an upcoming primary, you're Republican, or you don't want a primary and you're Republican, then you're supporting. You're saying this is a witch hunt. Because if you don't, you're going to get a primary, and that's unbelievable to me. What I'm witnessing is unbelievable. So take it for what it is. And as for the Biden thing, just somebody testifying is not evidence. I mean, it's evidence. It is not the end all of evidence. Get the smoking gun, and if he was doing it, produce the evidence, produce the audio tape. If there's an audio tape, where is it? Produce that audio tape. There's an audio tape. It proves everything. All right, I want to hear it. Why can't we hear it? And the other part of this is if Trump goes on, when he does go on trial, it should be cameras in the courtroom. The American people should be able to witness this, to see it and form their own conclusion, to make sure it is fair and not a witch hunt. But at the same time, will it be a situation where some Republicans will say, I won't watch it. I'm not watching it. Not interested. Don't want to see it. It's all made up. Or if there are cameras, will you watch it? You should watch it. This is history.
And then,
whether you like the history or you don't like the history, it's history.
I don't want to go too deep down this road, but
I don't either. Please.
Somebody who I know, who I love very much and care for, kind of falls into this. They won't watch it, but when they see me, that's all they'll talk to me about.
Yeah.
But it's all the things that they think why it's wrong, or that they're just going to do this to him, and it's like you don't even know what they have against him. You refuse to listen to anything negative against him, but all you do is talk to me about how You know, they're making things up. Like, you don't know the evidence. How do you know if it's being made up? I don't know. And I will say, I want to blame the media in part, and I don't mean us media, but maybe it's the national committees. But it's with both of them. It's this slow drip. This person's involved in the conspiracy. They're a horrible person, and we slow drip, slow drip, slow drip. Are we approaching the final year of Biden's administration? This has gone on for almost 3 years now. After we came off of 4 years of investigations on Trump,
and they can't nail him.
I know.
They can't produce the evidence that makes people say, "Wow, he completely lied." They got him. Where's that evidence? Just produce that evidence, and he should be put on trial. He should be impeached. I have no loyalty to any of them.
I know.
None of them. It just disgusts me the way all of this has been laid out and how it just continues and continues. Let's just move on. You know why? You know what? You know what? The biggest news story was yesterday. The biggest news story of the day yesterday was this stupid bear in China.
Wow.
The bear, the Malaysian bear, or what is it called? It's the sun bear that people think at the Chinese zoo that it's not a real bear, that it's a human in a costume, and it looks like it. This bear is unbelievable. This bear is like waving at people as they're throwing food at.
Okay, I did see a picture of this. That's not a person?
That's not a person. That's a bear.
I saw one picture, and I said,
bear.
That's clearly somebody in a costume.
No, it's a bear. It's a bear.
Get out of here.
God,
it stands up and walks around on 2 feet.
Correct. It's a bear.
Just one more thing before we move on, and I'll only mention Ryan. I love Ryan Nobles, but he had said to me, I was saying something pro-Trump and then negative Trump, and this was a couple years ago, and he goes, Jeff, I'm having trouble following you. Which side are you on? And my answer is, and
I think that's a great point. You're not on either side.
I'm on our side, okay? I look at it as them. Democrat and Republican are them, and then there's us, the regular people. I'm on our side.
Roger on Trump. Hi, Roger. Good morning.
Yes, I think you just said what I wanted to say. I'm on our side.
Our side, yeah.
We have to find out what's going on with Trump. I think the biggest problem with people right now is that there's no special counsel being created for the Biden situation, but under similar circumstances with far less probable evidence, a special counsel was created. I think that's what bothers people the most.
I think it does. Yeah, I think that's fair. And you know, when you think about it, I think that Trump was so let's just use the word unorthodox. Let's not forget about what went on during that 4 years, and it was not all from the left. It was from within his own White House. Remember that letter to the New York Times that said he's not running the country?
Yeah,
Trust me.
We've got
this under control.
Yeah.
I mean, how un-American is that there's a second government being run inside the administration, inside the White House? I mean, it was just the craziness. And when is it all going to end? All I can say, Roger, is if there's evidence out there on Biden, I want to hear it, and then prosecute.
You're 100% right, but there is enough evidence based on what previously happened to Trump, where they created a special counsel. They impeached him twice on one whistleblower, and this guy's had 2 whistleblowers.
But I think there is a Roger. I think there is a believe me, in Congress there's enough digging into this where I'm not sure it's it's not a special counsel, but there are investigations and there are people trying to get to the bottom of it. Believe me, in the House alone, they're trying to get to the bottom of it. But I'm not. All I'm saying is, if there's an audio tape, present it. I want to hear it. We, as a country, should be able to hear it.
Absolutely, I agree. This country needs to know what's going on.
I agree.
And we've had enough. We just if this situation develops like it is, a third party is a very real possibility.
I agree 100%. And I do think, though...
But the money isn't there.
And one last thing, Roger, though. I think it could be. One last thing I want to say. A third party most likely would benefit Donald Trump. If Donald Trump became the candidate, a third party, I think, would most likely hurt Biden.
You're probably right, because the loyalty of the Trump followers are there.
Unwavering,
Yes, sir.
right? There's and for Biden, I don't think there's any loyalty. I don't think anybody's loyal to Biden.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
All right, interesting, Roger. Thank you. Thank you for talking without hating. We can do that. We can go back and forth without hating each other.
Yeah, the Biden supporters fall. I think some of them fall into a camp that's, well, he's not Trump. That's why we love him. He's not Trump.
That's how he got elected.
I have a comment here, and I'm going to share it.
Do that, and then I want to move on to my distraction.
This comes from Bill Morehouse. He says, which one of the failed fake allegations against Trump was not a witch hunt? And get over January 6th. It was a joke. Yes, Bill, a joke.
Oh, Bill.
I know. I
What
knew
the
I
hell
was
is
gonna,
wrong
I
with
don't
you,
think
man?
you're going to move on now.
My God Almighty! No, I have to move on after that. I have. I. What is there? Is I think I don't even. I can't even.
I do it.
Listen, I do want to say the distraction yesterday was the bear. The bear. Everybody's all
I gotta
about
go
all
back.
about the bear. Now, but here's another thing. Did you see? And I think KTV has this story. Did you see that they found bobcat kittens? Is that what they call them, Davey?
Yeah.
Bobcat
Did
kittens.
you see that video?
In Richfield Springs. Those cute little bobcats. Number one, I grew up near Richfield Springs. I've never seen a bobcat that I know of in my life. Although in my backyard, I keep taping this cat and saying to my wife, I think that might be a lynx, which I don't even think there are lynx around here. But this is an enormous black cat. This thing must be a foot tall. And you see it every once in a while out in the backyard, and it's clearly hunting. But bobcats, they're saying there are about 5,000, they estimate, about 5,000 bobcats in New York State.
And
so right in our area, right
Wow.
in upstate New York, about 5,000, they say, between northern New York and the southern tier.
Wow.
Bobcats' range extends from Canada to Mexico and includes much of the United States, about 5,000 in New York, where there is a legal bobcat trapping season. I'd be interested to know if anybody ever spotted a bobcat on one of their trail cameras. That's interesting to me. Anyway,
These
a little
things that
distracted.
look so cuddly, though.
They do. They look like beautiful little kittens. KTV has the story and video on it. It's pretty cool. I got a break. News next. That Beach Boys medley is coming up next.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's when former President Trump will be arraigned in his third indictment. This one related to the Capitol riot and attempts to overturn the 2020 election.
Trump faces 4 charges in this indictment. 3 are on conspiracy, 1 for obstruction.
Fox's Griff Jenkins outside the Washington court the former president does not want to be tried in.
He took to Truth Social, posting the latest fake case brought by crooked Joe Biden and deranged Jack Smith will hopefully be moved to an impartial venue, such as the politically unbiased nearby state of West Virginia. Impossible to get a fair trial in Washington, D.C.
He also calls the indictment election interference. His son Eric Trump tells Fox.
They want to take him out of the race, and we've seen this before. We've seen the FBI be weaponized. We've seen the DOJ be weaponized. We've seen the dirty games.
Some Trump rivals in the Republican presidential race agree, but as Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports, one has a different take.
Former Vice President Mike Pence reacted to the indictment of former President Trump, telling Fox's Martha McCallum he's not sure if the former president listening to bad attorney advice is a crime, but he did say Trump's crackpot attorneys, as he put it, wanted him to reject votes on January 6th.
Which would have resulted in the issue being turned over to the House of Representatives, and literally chaos would have ensued.
Someone went on the attack with a knife in South Korea, stabbing and wounding 13 people near the capital, Seoul. Now an update on the American soldier who fled to North Korea to avoid U.S. military discipline.
Travis King hasn't been seen since he dashed across the border into North Korea on July 18th. UN Command, the U.S.-led mission in the region, says North Korea has now confirmed it has him. Details are scant, but the reply raises hopes North Korea could be ready to negotiate.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The day after a jury in Pittsburgh recommended Robert Bowers be executed for murder massacring 11 Jewish worshippers 5 years ago, a federal judge expected to formalize the sentence. America's listening to Fox News.
Don't let earache from swimmer's ear, clogged ears, or allergies ruin your day. Get fast, effective relief from the pain and itching with Hyland's Earache Drops, the #1 best-selling earache treatment for over 10 years. See why it's received thousands of 5-star reviews and was awarded Best Over-the-Counter Medicine and Health Product in Earache Relief by U.S. News and World Report. Find Hyland's Earache Drops in the eye and ear aisle at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices of America's greatest heroes. Heroes like Marine Corps Corporal Seth Rasmussen, who lost his life in an Osprey aircraft crash. Tunnel to Towers immediately stepped in to provide his wife and infant son with a mortgage-free home. Help the families of heroes like Seth get through the worst times in their lives. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
We have partly cloudy skies and 61 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. Central New York Congressman Brandon Williams now cleared to return to work after a health scare. The Republican lawmaker needed treatment for an infection after undergoing heart bypass surgery several weeks ago. His office says that he'll be leading a congressional delegation looking at our country's top energy facilities. The lawmaker represents the 22nd District. That includes Oneida, Madison, and Onondaga counties, and a small part of Oswego County. The State Department of Health issuing a warning about the recent uptick in COVID cases. The latest data from yesterday shows a 22% rise in hospitalization statewide due to the illness compared to the previous week. Reported cases have also gone up 55% over that same period. Doctors are asking anyone who has symptoms of coronavirus, like fever, headache, or breathing trouble, to get themselves tested immediately. New information being revealed about an incident in Madison County where a man ran off with a baby, an 8-month-old. Investigators say 42-year-old Thomas Bettis was involved in an argument with a woman on Oxbow Road in Lenox on Tuesday night. When police arrived, he allegedly grabbed the child that was in a car seat and ran into a wooded area. Authorities looked for several hours before they were able to locate Bettis and the baby. The infant was not seriously hurt. Bettis is charged with child endangerment. And the start of the New York State Fair is now just 3 weeks away. I feel like we've been counting it down since the spring. Today, people will have a chance to get an all-day ride pass for just $20. The sale goes until 11:59 p.m. tonight. Wristbands will be good for use any day during the fair. It's important to note that only 20,000 of these wristbands will be sold. They're available online at nysfair.ny.gov/midway. The fair begins August 23rd and runs through September 4th. Hoping for another nice day today. Here's what we can expect from Eyewitness News.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, a couple showers early, then breezy, warm, more humid. Another isolated shower or thunderstorm late afternoon and evening, a high of 85. Tonight, an isolated shower or rumble, mild, muggy, near 65. And tomorrow, breezy, mild, muggy, scattered showers and storms near 75. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Partly cloudy and 61 at 7:06. All right, in sports, the Mets lose again. They were shut out last night, a final of 4-0. They'll try to avoid being swept as the series comes to a conclusion this afternoon at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. The Yankees snapped their skid against the Rays, 7-2 the final last night. Garrett Cole picking up his 10th win. Anthony Volpe and Giancarlo Stanton each went deep in the victory. They now welcome the Houston Astros for a 4-game series that begins tonight at Yankee Stadium. Nestor Cortez close to making his return to the Yankees rotation. He said Wednesday he's preparing to return from the 60-day injured list at some point during this weekend's series with the Astros. Meanwhile, the Yankees announcing that Domingo Germán voluntarily entering an inpatient treatment program for alcohol abuse. The 30-year-old has been placed on the restricted list and will not return to the team. Germán has struggled this season despite throwing the 24th perfect game in Major League history. That came at the end of June against the A's. Football officially back tonight. The preseason kicks off Thursday night as the Jets take on the Cleveland Browns for the 2023 Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. The Browns making their 6th appearance in the game, and they're set to watch franchise legend Joe Thomas be enshrined into the Hall of Fame coming up on Saturday.
Well, that's enough for sports, I would say. Anything else? You're all right over there?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let me break. I wanted to play, as I said, I wanted to play the medley, the Beach Boys medley. Tomorrow, we'll be giving away 5 pairs of tickets to see the Beach Boys tomorrow night at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino. And all you have to do is identify the 6 songs in this Beach Boys medley. Check it out. That's right here.
It's this
Hold
easy.
On. It's coming. Check it out. There you go. Those are, by the way, 6 songs. That first is just a single beat. That first song, just a single beat. If you can identify tomorrow morning, identify these 6 songs tomorrow in the beginning in the 6 o'clock hour, we'll give away pair after pair, a total of 5 pairs, and you'll be joining Davey watching the Beach Boys at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino in the Event Center.
Now, you say that first one is just a single beat or a single note?
Yeah, yeah.
And you say that one's very easy. Now, to me, again, I'm not a huge Beach Boys guy, and I'm not a big music. I'm not educated at all in music. But you say that one's pretty easy. I think that's the toughest one of the bunch.
It is the toughest one, but it's easy if you
really
know
the music.
If you know the music. Here it is again. The first one, that's the first song. It's just a beat. Check it out. There you go. Tomorrow morning, we'll give them away, so make sure you finalize your choices. Make sure you got all 6 right. My guess is everybody who wins will have all 6 song titles.
The Beach Boys go back 60 years?
Back to 1961, 62, yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking over 60 years.
I believe I was just looking at... by the way, Mike Love is on the radio next hour. Fall of 1961, Love wrote the lyrics and melody to the Beach Boys' first song, Surfin', in collaboration with cousin Brian Wilson. Subsequently, Surfin' Safari and 409, which led to the signing of the band by Capitol Records following the song's debut. Love and Wilson went on to co-author numerous hits, including 11 top 10 singles in the first 5 years of the band. Hit after hit after hit.
I'm familiar with some of their older stuff, just because I had heard it.
Sure,
at family
how
events.
do you not?
409 and
this stuff's
Surfin'.
Been, and redone, but Beach Boys is such a unique sound.
So I guess my question to you was, I mean, they've essentially traveled. I don't know when their last album was, and I don't know that it matters because they have so many legendary songs. But I mean, they've been playing the same songs on their tours and concerts for like 50 years.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Over 50 years.
I think that speaks to the music a lot.
It's also interesting too that Brian Wilson really early on said that he didn't like touring and was having some issues, and so the band has been touring without Brian Williams off and on for many years.
And Wilson,
without Brian Wilson. Yeah. Did I say that?
We said Williams.
Brian Williams actually wrote most of the Beatles or most of the Beach Boys songs
while he was under heavy fire on a helicopter.
Yeah. So. I wonder if isn't there the tie-in with Charles Manson? Didn't Charles Manson help write one of the Beach Boys songs? I believe so. I got to ask that question, and I'm wondering if Brian.
Stop!
I'm
Are
wondering
you serious?
if Mike Love. This is our chance this morning to get Squeaky Fromm on the radio. You know that she lives in Marcy, right here. I don't want to say where because I'd like to stay alive, but I wonder if Mike Love had any dealings with any of them back when that was all going on. If Squeaky and Mike Love ever met, we'll find out because he's on the radio next hour.
Huh. There is something to this, maybe.
That might be worth jumping on. So let's see. Anyway, we'll get to that. A couple of comments before I break here. Mike says, my mom, I've heard they're beginning. I have a relative who is a maritime lawyer. He's dealt with some pretty crazy stuff like the Iranians, some Somali pirates, offshore oil, failures, and tanker leakages. I've heard they're bringing impeachment. Oh, and this is another comment. Oh, this is funny. I've heard they're bringing impeachment charges against Thomas Jefferson for having slaves and against George Washington for using endangered whalebone to use for his teeth. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden that were the case. Yes, he's been dead for over 200 years, but we've decided to impeach George Washington. Thomas Jefferson.
Also via the WIBX 950 app. Good morning to John in Bridgewater. He says, hey, Bill, Biden is no angel. Enough on Trump. Look, I thought we were very fair about it.
Please, listen to what I said. I said that if there's evidence, bring it out, and if it's true, he should be impeached. And I'm talking about Biden. And enough on you. Give me a break. Listen to the radio and don't distort what I say.
Also,
John, give me a break.
We've been asking what type of sandwich you like and where to get the best sandwich locally. And Tom in Rome did follow up. He said the Brooklyn Pickle Special is corned beef, pastrami, Russian dressing, Swiss cheese on rye. Granted, Bill, it's no fat cats, but it's good.
Send that to me because I'm going to include that in the story. That sounds like a pretty good sandwich.
It does.
Joe says, I'm with you and Jeff when it comes to politics. I'm for us and worried for us. However, when it comes to common sense and arguments for and against, it was clearly proven that the Adam Schiff and Hillary Clinton manufactured a document to impeach Trump. That finally came out. This current administration, listen, I hate all of them. All of them.
I know.
But, it is what it is. If somebody's done something wrong, they should be prosecuted. That includes Trump. That includes Biden. And, of course, Thomas Jefferson.
And George Washington. We're going to rename that hospital in D.C. where Brandon Williams was just receiving care.
Here's Kathy in Rome. Hi, Kathy in Rome. Good morning.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
I have first comment. My son Selden is in the United States Coast Guard, and tomorrow's a big day for the Coast Guard. They're going to be 233 years old.
Wow.
That's big.
Well, please thank him for his service on our behalf.
Oh, I will. And also, don't forget.
And by the way, Kathy, I think the Coast Guard oftentimes gets forgotten about.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think they do.
But they're out there. He's in search and rescue, and he's also a master social worker, so he works very hard. And he has 18 years in, so he thoroughly enjoys it.
Very nice. And enjoys protecting the nation.
Yes, and don't forget, this Saturday's the Whitney Stakes. I haven't decided who I want to bet on, but it's 50 years for the running of the Whitney with Secretariat getting beat.
And where do you place your bets when you because you're a big horse racing bettor?
Well, I don't know. I try to stay within my limit. If I'm in Saratoga, naturally the track.
Sure.
If I'm still here in town, then I'll go down to OTB.
Okay. You don't have one of the apps, though.
No, that's too tempting, Bill.
Oh, believe me, it'd be right there in your pocket. Every day you could.
No, that's too tempting to do that kind of thing. I might end up betting a little more. I try to stay conservative, and I don't want it to get into a
You don't want to
habit.
get to. You don't want a habit. There's no doubt. Listen though, please tomorrow call us and let us know who your picks are for the Whitney. All right.
All right, I will.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. I got a break. It's 7:16. Stand by. Coming up. Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. We'll take more on your sandwiches. What is the best sandwich in the area? I have to say a couple out-of-area sandwiches. In Providence, the Buddy Cianci. Jeff's Superlative Sandwiches. There are two locations, at least there were when I lived there. and there was one on Benefit Street, and so one up near Brown and then one up on the hill, even further up on the hill. And this was a sandwich shop that had sandwiches named after everybody. In fact, JFK Jr. lived over top of, when he went to Brown, lived over top of Jeff's Superlative Sandwiches. And there's a sandwich named after him as well. And but the Buddy Cianci is a delicious sandwich if you ever get to Providence, Rhode Island, to check that out. And then in Niagara Falls, there is a place called Viola's that serves a steak. Basically, it's a hot steak sandwich that is famous. People come from all over the country, all over the world to that place. There are like 2 locations in Niagara Falls, but the original is just so good. And if we get anywhere near Western New York, we always divert into Niagara Falls to go get that sandwich. It is Viola's. Look it up. It is so, so good. Now, they're not from around here, so they couldn't make our list.
I think somebody, and I hope somebody locally would do it, they need to make a big, sloppy pork sandwich with a bunch of bacon grease on it and call it the Congress.
Okay, that would be good. The Congressional.
The Congressional.
I'd like
there
the
you
Congressional,
go.
please, with extra cheese. Extra cheese. All right, Davey, I want to bump the interview coming up. If we could bump that, and let me break. It's 7:18. The official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Just the most delicious lattes, 14 different flavors, and iced coffee. It's going to be a little more humid again today, so check that out at Daylight Donuts.
Yeah, and I'll just mention, I always say this, I love my coffee like my women, smoking hot. And I have to encourage you, speaking of sandwiches, try a breakfast sandwich over at their location there, right on Genesee Street. They're so good and they're so fresh. Every time I go there for a coffee, I get a breakfast sandwich as well.
We'll also remind you that Daylight Donuts, Chuck is looking for an assistant baker. And if you're looking, it's a great opportunity, a great job. And say you don't have baking experience, they'll work with you. They'll teach you. They'll bring you up to the level where you're baking like nobody else, or except for the main baker, I guess. You'll be baking like he or she. Check it out at Daylight Donuts. They're hiring right now. Got a break, 7:19 at WIBX.
Utica Stampede and Rodeo and Expo comes back to the Adirondack Bank Center August 4th and 5th. 2 days of rodeo fun with 8 different events with over 30 of the best bull riders in the Northeast competing for large cash prizes. Get your tickets now at EmpireStateTix.com, in person at the Adirondack Bank Center box office, or over the phone by calling 315-790-9070. It's the Utica Stampede and Rodeo, presented by Don Ford, Clinton Tractor, and best enjoyed with Coors Banquet, the official beer of the rodeo.
NGEMS, flooring from NGEMS.
Hurry to NGEMS Flooring America for their summer sale. Enjoy incredible savings on waterproof flooring from 12 Oaks. Dip into savings on hardwood flooring. Splash into deep discounts on ceramic tile. Plus, qualified buyers can take advantage of 12-month interest-free financing. NGEMS Flooring America, 2010 Oriskany Boulevard in Utica, and online at ngemsflooringamerica.com.
Flooring from NGEMS. It's perfect for you.
Do you feel like your current checking account just isn't working for you anymore? Maybe monthly fees are cutting into your already tight budget. Or maybe you're looking for more convenience with additional bells and whistles that allow you to accomplish more with less work. Whatever your reason, it might be a great time for you to check out the lineup of accounts at Adirondack Bank. From no-frills basic accounts to paperless high-yield accounts, we're sure to have the perfect solution for your needs. We also offer a large selection of extras such as customizable debit cards, electronic statements, online banking and bill pay, mobile banking, and mobile deposit. We also have a great client services team ready to answer your questions with our live chat. Visit our website at www.adkbank.com. Use the checking comparison tool and see which options are best for you. That's adkbank.com. Member FDIC.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you can get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care. And that's MediShare. You get both. The typical family saves $500 a month switching to MediShare. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. It's because MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge PPO network, so yeah, really, you could save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. If you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number you need. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And did we mention it's aluminum free? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 500 and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, free product of your choice, and ships free with code 500. LumeDeodorant.com, code 500 for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. Love it or return it for free. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code 500.
At Simply Safe, your safety is the only thing that matters. Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from Simply Safe Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Coming up, Hobica's Free Money question of the day. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Give you a chance to walk away a winner. Yesterday, we had a $300 winner. Wow. Pretty wild. We'll give you a chance to win coming up in just a few minutes. We'll do that at 7:35. Also, this morning, we'll speak with Chuck Marshall from Stewart's on the latest. I know that they've opened up the one on in South Utica.
They have, and it's very nice. I've been in there.
That one is open, and they have just purchased Melrose Market in Frankfort. And that legendary grocery store, that legendary market will be coming down, and it will be a part of the Stewart's footprint over there. Looks like it's going to be a rather large Stewart's, right?
It is, and my understanding is, we can confirm this with Chuck when we talk to him, the existing Stewart's location will remain open until the new store is constructed, and then once that happens, the old store will close, and that's where their, as they call it, the gas canopy will be. So that's where the pumps will be and stuff.
Here is this is out of Michigan. Trenton High School in Michigan recently had a sponsored sign put up on its football bleachers that was supposed to be read "Welcome to Trenton High School," but unfortunately, they misspelled. My guess is it's a typo because they spelled "welcome" without an L, WCOME. Here are the people from the community, including.
So it says Weckham?
We come, or Weckham. We come to Trenton High School, I guess. Some people in the community, including Superintendent Douglas Menser, reacting to the misspelling. Here we go.
I drove by, and I was like, well, something doesn't look right. And then I was like, there's no L.
My daughter sent me the picture, and she said that there's a misspelling on Trenton football field. And she sent it to me, and I said, I can't believe they forgot the L.
I don't know how someone doesn't catch that.
Spell check, yeah. It's a great idea, right?
A little spell check probably would have caught that. But would you agree that that's probably not a misspelled word? It's a typo.
Listen, as the guy who considers himself to be the king of the dropped word or letter in a word, I think sometimes that happens.
Today is National Watermelon Day.
Okay. Better go get you some.
I think they want you to go out and get a. I got to tell you something. I went to be careful. I went to one of the websites that's supposedly for Mellow Subs. I was trying to get their menu, and it put some malware on my computer, and it's like alerts are going up all over the place.
Bill, how did that?
I don't know how it happened. I'm sure I'm about to take down the whole company now. I just clicked on a website.
Now, you're a huge Apple guy.
Yeah, normally we don't get hit with these, but
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you. Don't you have some virus protection where it would have prohibited it?
Yeah,
from entering your.
Well, apparently, what I clicked on was the wrong thing. I don't know. Not good. So a video is making the rounds of a Boston police officer getting violently shot out of a metal slide and ending up injured. It's a slide that's made for children under the age of 12, but he wanted to go on it, so he went on it. But it sounds like he went down the wrong way, and it shot him out and injured him. Does that make any sense?
On a kid's slide?
On a kid's slide. One would think that it would be just the opposite of that.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Are you looking at it? And he violently came out.
Something over tea kettle is what he came out as.
Yeah, not good.
Oh, wow.
It's a wonder it didn't kill him.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's what it sounded like when he came out. Check this out.
He looked like a crash test dummy coming through that hole.
Yeah. Wow. It's a wonder it didn't kill him.
Now, if it's not safe enough for a cop to figure out, should kids be on this? That's a large slide.
I completely agree.
That's like 3 stories in the air.
Yeah. We mentioned WKTV has a story this morning with showing video of bobcats. Bobcat kittens, cute little kittens that could grow up to be kittens that'll really take your dog, take your cat, take your baby. Be careful.
Yeah.
Here's Jim. Hi, Jim. Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's going on?
Where are you from, Jim?
Hey, I live on Canandaigua, Bill.
Okay, so you're up in Richfield.
You're probably familiar with Panther Mountain.
Yeah, I guess no, I'm not. Explain that.
Well, it's a snowmobile trail over on the lake house side.
Okay, okay.
Richfield, and me and my girlfriend and my dog went for a drive up on the seasonal road by the snowmobile trail after supper one afternoon a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And there was a deer right in front of us, and my dog seen it. And he was kind of focused, and I'm like, oh, cool, look, honey, a deer. The deer went flying up into a field off the seasonal road in about a second and was replaced by a real stout-looking bad bobcat and real muscular, real cool-looking animal. And I asked the DEC cop that I seen at the Storts in Richfield about it, and he said, oh, yeah. Yeah, so they're kicking around.
So that's the big. So if you go over by the lake house, which is on the eastern side of Canandaigua Lake in Richfield Springs, that's the big hill there. That big looks like a mountain there.
It's called Walnut Grove Hill Road. You go about a mile past the lake house and take a left, and that'll take you up to all the seasonals and snowmobile trails. And that's where I saw it.
Wow.
And it was pretty cool.
So seeing these bobcat kittens in the village of Richfield. While odd to see them in the village, sounds like it's not completely uncommon.
Maybe not so much up on the hill, no,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
when I seen it, I knew I'd heard that they were around, but I'd
Yeah.
never seen one before.
Wow.
Then I was convinced because I seen it with my own two eyes.
Wow,
That was
awesome.
pretty cool.
All right, good story, Jim. Thanks, man.
All right,
Have,
hey, man, take care.
have a great day. Yeah, listen, it's those kittens, I guess we're calling them kittens. Is that what they are? Bobcat kittens. They're pretty beautiful little kittens, but I imagine they're vicious as well.
Yeah, well, and you don't want to be cuddling or petting those. They're called bob kittens, is what they're called.
Okay.
You don't want to be cuddling with or petting those bob kittens when mama shows up.
Yeah, that would not be good.
No, it would not be
And
good.
my guess is it's probably like any other wild animal. You don't really want to touch them because if you do, the mother smells the scent and then abandons the babies. or
Yeah,
the
it's
kittens.
almost like the babies are now contaminated once you've meddled, if you will.
Tomorrow morning, we'll be giving you a chance to win Beach Boys tickets, and I want to play that medley for you one more time here this morning, giving you the opportunity to walk away a winner. It'll be tomorrow morning. We'll give away 5 pairs of tickets that could be yours. Listen carefully.
I'm gonna wake you up early 'cause I'm gonna take a ride with you. Early in the morning we'll be starting out.
All right, Andrew says he has 3 of them, but he will have all 6. And Andrew doesn't work here anymore, so he says he could be eligible to win.
Yeah, no, he definitely could win tickets now. Number 2 is I'm surprised Andrew only has 3 of them. He's karaoke'd probably 5 of the 6.
I am, although Beach Boys is a hard one to karaoke, just for the record. But,
Okay. He's tried. I've been there. Trust
I'm
me.
sure he has, and I'm sure he'd do very, very well. Okay, that show's tomorrow night. 361 show for ticket information. And I got a break. Coming up, Mohawk Valley Crime Stopper, Wanted Person of the Week. We'll do that. It's 7:30. You want me to do that now before I do anything else? I can do that. And is it on the line? It would be Detective Shane Riolo. Is that right? Detective, good morning.
Good morning.
So what do we have from Rome PD? This week's Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week.
This week's wanted person of the week is Lauren L. Langston. She's 26 years old, approximately 5'4", 230 pounds. Lauren is wanted on 2 Rome City Court bench warrants. The first bench warrant is for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. These charges stem from a traffic stop that occurred in May of 2023. The second bench warrant is for obstructing a governmental administration and resisting arrest. These charges stem from an investigation into an abandoned vehicle where Langston showed up on scene and attempted to prevent the vehicle from being towed from the roadway. This incident also happened in May of 2023.
Okay.
Her last known address is on Myrtle Street in the city of Rome.
Okay, and obviously with Crime Stoppers, the beauty is everything is anonymous. You can go through the app. You can use the website, use the phone number. It's all detailed on our website at WIBX950.com. One thing I don't have, though, Detective, is a photo. If you have a photo, if you could email that to me. I got everything but the photo. And if you get me that, I'll include that in our story coming up.
I will get that to you very shortly.
All right, Detective, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Be safe out there.
Thank you. You too.
All right. That is Detective Shane Riolo of the Rome Police Department. The full story is up on our website at WIBX950.com.
And, of course, every week we bring you the area's Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers most wanted person of the week.
All right, so let's see. We're at 7:35, Davey. Let's do our free money question of the day. And the jackpot is supposed to revert back to $100 after we get a winner. So we had a big winner yesterday, $300 winner. Goes back to, but today let's just break with rules just a little bit. Let's make it $200. So I'll double the 100 and make it 2.
And if Joe calls, tell him we'll call him back later.
We'll get back to him.
Obika calls, we'll get back to him.
Joe, is that all right?
Send him my voicemail.
He didn't answer.
I never return those calls anyway.
$300 winner yesterday. Davey, this morning we're going for caller number. Which one are you looking for?
Caller 8.
8 callers through the line. Chance for you to win a deuce, $200 from the Hobico Law Firm. Caller number 8 at 315-736-0186. Call right now to win from WIBX.
The Rome Capitol Theater presents the summer stage production of Disney's The Little Mermaid, tonight through Saturday at 7:30.
That voice. I must find it. Not if I have anything to say about it.
Reserve seat advance sale tickets are available now for the summer stage production of Disney's The Little Mermaid, August 3rd through 5th at the Rome Capitol Theater. For more information, visit romecapital.com.
Hi, I'm Jill Hayes.
And I'm Scott Hayes from New York Sash.
You know, Scott, saving money feels great.
Oh, no.
And saving 50%? That's just incredible.
What did you buy?
What? Nothing. I'm talking about the New York Sash 50% off sale and how right now, for a limited time, we're offering 50% off the installation on every New York Sash window.
That's right. They're energy efficient, they're beautiful, they come with a lifetime warranty, and they're all on display at our Idea and Design Center, so you can browse at your convenience with no pressure. And if you have questions, we'll be happy to help you choose the perfect windows for your home.
And you can get them installed at half the cost.
Replace one window, two windows, a whole house full of windows, and save 50% on the installation.
It happens once a year, and it's happening right now. Get 50% off the installation at New York Sash.
We're open Monday through Saturday, so call us this week or visit our Idea and Design Center on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro.
And let our family take care of your family.
If we've learned anything from recent news, it's that unexpected things are happening. Your gut tells you there's something very wrong going on, and all the evidence suggests that there is. Government emails are hacked. There's talk of how to fight World War III, and trade of grains and food are being disrupted. Those in charge say everything's fine. Stop noticing, but you know better. It's time to invest in self-reliance and emergency food storage now, more than ever. My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, is the place you can trust. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each contains tasty breakfasts, lunch, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one food kit for each family member. For a limited time, save 25%, plus get free shipping on all their 3-month emergency food kits. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today. It's time to prepare for what's coming. MyPatriotSupply.com.
What's your design inspiration? A picture on the wall? A photo from a magazine? A board you've made on Pinterest? Hi, this is Kira Meelan from Meelan's Carpet One. It's amazing what some of our customers bring to us for inspiration, and we love working side by side with them to help turn their flooring dream into a reality. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the job, helping you to discover your perfect flooring. And there really is so much to discover. Consider the latest flooring trends as you plan your next home project. Many of our customers are surprised by the incredible new choices we have available. For example, today's snap-together waterproof luxury vinyl is incredibly popular. It's durable and it's stunning, with so many styles that replicate hardwood and beautiful stone looks. We have options that inspire, designers who will help bring it all together, and always a beautiful installation. To get the perfect flooring, start with the right flooring store. Visit Meelan's Carpet One on Commercial Drive East in Yorkville.
Attention business owners, was your company impacted during COVID? If you had W-2 employees during 2020 and 2021, you may be entitled for up to $26,000 per employee through the Employee Retention Credit Program. This is not alone. The IRS paid back billions already. We've helped thousands of businesses just like yours, so let us help you. At ERC Business Solutions, we make it simple. We do it all for you, so you won't have to worry about the complex application process. There's absolutely no risk. If you don't get paid, we don't get paid. Most businesses do qualify, even those with no decline in revenues or those that already got PPP. Discover how much you can claim. There's no cost or obligation. Call now, 800-281-9981. That's 800-281-9981. Get up to $26,000 per employee. Call 800-281-9981. 800-281-9981.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
We're giving away not one, but $200. How about that? Chance for you to win a couple $100 from the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica. at 315-724-1600. And Eric is in Deerfield. Eric, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Okay, I believe you'll ace this one. I love a good question that can be aced. And here's your question. 7 seconds to answer. The hit Surf City was made famous by this group. Ready, go. Think
who
about
was Jan and Dean?
Who was, not Beach Boys, but who was Jan and Dean? That is correct. How about that? Nice one.
Oh, thank you.
You didn't fall for the Beach Boys trick.
I don't want to out you, Bill, but you like to do that. You like to tell people, we always make it topical. It's always about something we've discussed, and then you throw in the curveball.
Listen, 2 curveballs in 2 days, and both have been knocked out of the park.
That's correct.
A $200 winner, Eric in Deerfield. Congratulations.
I have to tell you, I went to the oldies show last night, so I'm in an oldies mood.
You are. That's perfect. There you go.
Yeah, it worked out just right.
The song Surf City, and not by the Beach Boys. Although I wonder, was that written? I didn't see who wrote that song. Look that up and see who wrote Surf City. It might have been Brian Wilson. But Jan and Dean, the Beach Boys knockoff, they're the ones who made that song famous. Great one there, Eric. Congratulations.
Thanks, Bill.
We're going to give you $200, and Davey's going to hook you up from the Hobica Law Firm.
All right. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks so much. Nice job.
And the song Surf City was written by Jan Barry and...
and Dean. Jan and Dean.
Oh, no, it's written by Jan Barry and Brian Wilson.
Okay, there you go. Well, isn't that something?
That is something.
I got to pull that song up just so you can hear how much. If you don't know, let's see if I Surf City. Here we come, right? And let's see if I can find it. Oh, I have found it. I do have it.
This is pretty hard rock.
This is the Ramones version.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was going to say, this didn't sound like 1963.
Boy, I didn't know the Ramones did it. Not bad. That, of course, performed probably at CBGB's in New York City. Here's the Jan and Dean version of Surf City.
Oh, I assumed this was Beach Boys.
Yeah, everybody does.
I bought a 34 wagon and we call it a Woody.
Oh, my goodness.
You know it's not
So, unfortunately,
but a goodie.
the board is playing a mono. It's only picking up one channel here.
But it still gets me where I wanna go.
Let me see if I can change that. No.
City gonna have some fun. You know we're gonna Surf City 'cause it's 2 to 1. You know we're gonna.
Anyway, there you go. Wow, that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I couldn't play the background vocals because for some reason the board is only picking up one channel.
Now, listen, if I can ask, and I'm not looking to stir up any controversy here, but a song that came out that said I'm going to Surf City because there's 2 girls for every boy. If they came out today, that might be trouble.
2 girls for every boy. Yeah.
Might be trouble?
That may be something that is a bit problematic.
Well, let's ban it right now. We're going to ban
I
it?
think we can. Did you see there's a big controversy over the removal of the Columbus statue in Syracuse?
There is. That's gone on for quite some time.
And there was a court, a judge that upheld the city when it comes to removing the statue. But now the people trying to save the statue have appealed. It's now going to a higher court.
Okay.
So who knows how long that will take. But, of course, Columbus Day a few months away.
Yeah, look, I'll just...
By state fair standards, Columbus Day is tomorrow, just around the corner.
I don't condone any of the things, the bad things that Columbus is accused of doing. But again, I think we live in an imperfect world, and things that were acceptable decades ago, hundreds of years ago, or several months ago, are considered substandard today, and we want to just rewrite history and whitewash everything and knock everybody off the history books.
You'll hear people argue over does Columbus discovered America? Well, no, because there were people here before he didn't discover it. Well, at least for the Europeans and for the rest of the developed world at the time, Columbus discovered the Americas, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we could all agree on that, and I'm sure there's somebody out there willing to argue it, but it is what it is, and it's how. And for Italian Americans, it's a big deal, and
very prideful.
They don't want to see those statues taken down. That's happening in Syracuse right now. In Stewart's, in the Stewart's world, they're expanding and with a bigger footprint on their stores. The one in South Utica has opened and went through a lot of different changes. In Frankfort, Stewart's has just purchased the former Melrose Market, and they'll be expanding. The Stewart's that already exists there, it'll be expanded.
No court case needed. They're taking down the Melrose Market statue in Frankfort.
I believe that's happening. Here's Chuck Marshall with Stewart's. Chuck, good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Are you? So you'll be expanding the size of the Stewart's in Frankfort on that busy corner there.
Yeah, I mean, great location, great community, substandard building. As you've seen throughout the Herkimer Valley, where we have opportunities, we like to capitalize on them. The Melrose Market, I think Joe and Linda just kind of had their time, and as we discussed last time I was on, they've been in business 50-something years. Not them but them and their family, and it was a good fit for both of us.
Yeah.
I mentioned last hour I talked to Joe last night on the phone, and he said, "Look, it was time. That's it. It's that simple. It was time." And then we had a laugh that many years ago, he says, people still come up to me to this day and say, "You turned down $4 million from Stewart's?" And he laughed when he told me, he goes, they had offered $4 million. I walked right out of the store right then and there. So it's always funny, the things that you hear. But this is a great opportunity for Stewart's.
I think so. I mean, I think that Stewart's is a landmark throughout the greater, upstate New York. I think had Columbus had Stewart's in his time, he would have used it for better directions. But that doesn't necessarily, deal with Frankfurt. But in the end of the day, this is positive, I think, for everyone.
Is Utica the only location, the only city where you have controversy that follows expansions and new stores, or does it trickle around the state?
Oh no, it's all over the place. I mean, we've had neighbors that have brought Article 78 in other municipalities. I had to formally ask the mayor of Watertown to recuse himself from a vote because he was he had previously recused himself on a similar application for the same property. So no, it's not just Utica. And some things went, look at Court Street. Court Street, everyone was like, this is, great for the neighborhood, great for the community. Every once in a while, a couple of people just get an idea that something that's allowed or something that goes through the right process is bad. And they have the right to challenge it.
Chuck, two questions. One, I just noticed.
You just said that Jim Saka is on his way to Frankfurt right now.
And I don't mean to bring up competition, so I will just say your new South Utica location, I just thought it was coincidental. I don't know if the timing was planned, but directly across the street, there is a gas station, and I believe it's currently closed. Are they ripping the pumps out of the ground there? Do you know anything about that? And was your opening meant to coincide with work that they were planning to do?
Where is that?
It's in South Utica, the Genesee Street location.
Right.
It's essentially just a gas. I think they have a couple coolers.
Yeah, it's like a Safeway or something. Like that.
Speedway.
It's a Speedway, yeah.
So I just happened to be driving by there yesterday and saw that it's all walled off with fences, and they're ripping the pumps, I think, out of the ground.
No, I mean, obviously beneficial for us because as we enter the market, it's going to be an introduction to people that were there. but we had no idea that what their timing was.
Well, you guys hit the nail on the head.
Are they closing up, closing, or are they just replacing their pumps?
I don't believe they're closing. I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't believe they're closing. Well, that's one of the things that came up during the South Utica discussion that I think was overshadowed. So that's a non-conforming use. People said, "Why don't you buy it?" It's not appropriately zoned for what's there, so we couldn't buy it. But one of the things that people don't consider is that Stewart's is a large regional company, but Speedway is a publicly traded corporation. They don't sell that location. They'll sell like a bunch of locations at a time. So it's my sense that they're just down for repair and that it's not a, leaving the market type situation.
And then on the Frankfurt location, I know your current store will eventually be in the future the new location's gas canopy. Does that mean there will be a period of time where that Stewart's in Frankfurt won't be pumping gas?
That is correct. So probably like a month period in like the November time frame, they'll be without gas. And it's not just so we're clear. It's not just the Melrose Market, which is obviously the most critical component. We did buy the additional house to the west of there.
Okay.
Is there another? I'm trying to think. Oh, there is another gas station further down in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
If you were to go further down the street. Here's Joe Lode is on the line right now. Joe, you're on. Chuck Marshall with Stewart's. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I just think it's going to be a great addition to the village of Frankfurt. I don't know how much the mayor of Frankfurt had a hand in getting you guys there or negotiating for you, but the mayor, he does a good job there in Frankfurt.
I can't disagree. I mean, they made the process very seamless. He wasn't. We negotiate all of our own properties. But when it came to the village considering the application, they were very easy to deal with.
All right, good stuff.
I think he's very open. I think the mayor in Frankfurt's very open to bringing things in that are going to help the community. And, Frankfurt is not the town it used to be that I grew up in. It has changed over the years. It's not predominantly Italian like it used to be. So it needs some kind of maybe an adaptation to the new trends of the world, I guess.
Well, there's still a lot of Italians in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of Italians, but other people have moved in. It's not just predominantly Italy anymore.
All right. It used to be East Utica back in the day.
I guess, we used to joke we were the Italians that were too good for East Utica, so we moved to Frankfurt.
Yeah. They're proud people there, those Frankfurtians.
That's right.
Joe, your grandmother lived in Frankfurt.
She was on First Ave. I lived on Second Ave, and we all played kickball in Akavazzi's funeral home parking lot. And the stories I could tell you about Mrs. McGlory's Pizza or Charlie's Capero's Pizza down across the tracks, or going to the back door at Thurston's Bowling Alley and getting our pizza from the back door where the kitchen is. I mean, we grew up in a place that was probably, to me, was the best part of my life, Frankfurt. I mean, it was protected. It was family. Everybody looked out for each other. It was like those Bronx Tale days,
Except for the time if you, I believe, wasn't there a time that your grandmother caught you swearing and she punished you?
No, this was my mother. She caught my mother lipping a neighbor, so she pulled her tongue out and stuck it with a hat pin. Because my grandmother didn't take any crap from anybody.
No. Yeah. God rest her soul. Great woman.
Yes,
great woman.
Indeed.
She was a toughie, but a great woman.
She was tough, yes.
Good stuff, Joe. Thank you, man.
And, Joe, before I let you go, thanks for the number last night. I talked to the other Joe, and he said he's still got some shelving and, freezers available. So if you're interested in buying and selling, give him a call. He can hook you up with a great price.
Okay. All right.
Joey Lavelle is my cousin, obviously, a great guy, and Linda, great family. They do a great job, and I think, it was time, and I think they're going to enjoy the fruits of their labor, so to speak, for the rest of their life. So.
All right, Joe, thank you, man. Have a great day.
You too.
Chuck, this is what you're getting into in Frankfurt, just to be aware. So.
No, last time I was on, Joe was very adamant about his family connections to Frankfurt, and I think by no means is he a replacement for Bill Keeler, but he was a great fill-in.
Okay.
One of the things that's funny that brings Stewart's back is that I'm pretty sure Charlie Scaparo's grandson is working. He's the project manager for Stewart's. He lives in Little Falls.
Wow.
And he did both the South Utica, and he's doing the Frankfurt stores.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I'm friends with Steve Scaparo.
Correct.
And I have to say that I'll speak out of turn here a little bit, and I think it's okay. But in my conversations because Steve's a longtime contractor, and I'm very close with his brother Tony. In fact, we'll be seeing each other today. So it's a small world. But Steve was a contractor. Did a great job, but it's tough being your own, you're running your own business, and especially in New York State. But he's been working for Stewart's for quite some time, doing just this, project management, and speaks so highly of his employment with Stewart's. Just claims that it's an awesome place to work. So it says an awful lot about you guys, Chuck.
Yeah, no, we, 40% of the company is owned by the employees, which, was a loan from the Dake family. We do charitable giving, and we joke, like, the shops deal with people that come in and get upset and yell at them about their milkshake wasn't thick enough, or, there wasn't enough cheese on their, ham and cheese.
Yeah.
I go get yelled at 2 hours at a time by, Jim Zecca and some other people, but
I don't know
that's
which
the
is easier.
trade-off.
Yeah.
Because it's a great place to work, and we do. I think Steve does a great job, on the contracting side and representing Stewart's. I hope I do a good job, and at the end of the day, it's a great product, so it's easy to represent.
Chuck Marshall, congratulations on your expansion in Frankfurt.
Yeah, and I'll be speaking to you guys.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, let us know if there's a new location coming somewhere within earshot. We'd love to talk about it.
All right.
All right, sounds good.
And by the way, if you're paying $4 million for property, I have a large backyard.
No. We're not paying $4 million for anything. That is
not
one
true.
of those numbers that.
That's a rumor.
That's definitely a rumor.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Chuck, thank you.
All right, see you guys.
Right. I could just see a Stewart's in my backyard. I mean, I'd be okay with it. I'd have no problem. The light's not too tall for me. By the way, the Mr. Scaparo in Frankfurt, that was famous pizza. And when you think about it, I believe it was out on the. I don't know how it was done exactly, but it was in the back of his home, and people would line up to get the pizzas. Whichever day a week he did that, and it was probably the most famous pizza in the area. Certainly the most famous pizza in Frankfurt. People loved that pretty well. Got a break. It's 8 o'clock news straight ahead.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
There's a lot of security being put in place at a Washington, D.C. court. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's where former President Trump will be arraigned this afternoon, and where he wrote on Truth Social, it'll be impossible to get a fair trial.
The former president is expected to appear in person and may enter a plea on 4 counts brought by special counsel Jack Smith, charging Trump with conspiracy to defraud the United States and obstruct an official proceeding. An attorney for the former president argues a change of venue is appropriate, suggesting West Virginia is a possible alternative.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. This is the third Trump indictment, and it's related to what special counsel Smith alleges are his lies that led to the Capitol riot, attempting to overturn the 2020 election. But Republican Congresswoman Claudia Tenney tells Fox,
we're criminalizing free speech. Yeah. A metaphor, fight like hell now is a crime.
Another Capitol rioter has been arrested. He's known as Rally Runner, famous for going around the St. Louis Cardinals stadium during baseball games in all red with red face paint. The FBI says he was also red-faced on January 6th when he stormed the Capitol and is now charged with interfering with police, a felony. Robert Bauer's death sentence is expected to be formalized in Pittsburgh the day after a jury recommended his execution for the 2018 attack on the Tree of Life Synagogue, killing 11 Jewish worshipers.
I thank God I survived and I'm alive. and I'm here to see this day.
That is survivor Martin Gaynor. The FBI is searching for more possible victims of a man arrested last month in Nevada after a woman abducted from Seattle escaped his custody at a home in Oregon.
She alleges she was kidnapped, shackled, sexually assaulted, and locked in this makeshift cell.
Assistant Special FBI Agent in charge, Stephanie Shark. Nagazi Zuberi is facing numerous charges linked to sexual assaults in other states, too. America's listening to Fox News.
Don't let earache from swimmer's ear, clogged ears, or allergies ruin your day. Get fast, effective relief from the pain and itching with Hyland's Earache Drops, the #1 best-selling earache treatment for over 10 years. See why it's received thousands of 5-star reviews and was awarded Best Over-the-Counter Medicine and Health Product in Earache Relief by U.S. News and World Report. Find Hyland's Earache Drops in the eye and ear aisle at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices of America's greatest heroes. Heroes like Marine Corps Corporal Seth Rasmussen, who lost his life in an Osprey aircraft crash. Tunnel to Towers immediately stepped in to provide his wife and infant son with a mortgage-free home. Help the families of heroes like Seth get through the worst times in their lives. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
We have cloudy skies now, 62 degrees. WIBX news time is 8:03. Central New York Congressman Brandon Williams is now cleared to return to work after a health scare. Of course, the Republican lawmaker recently underwent a heart bypass surgery in mid-July, but just over a week ago had to be admitted to George Washington University Hospital in D.C. as he needed treatment for an infection. Williams' office now says he will be leading a congressional delegation that will be taking a look at our nation's top energy facilities. Williams, a Republican, represents the 22nd District, covering all of Onondaga, Madison, and Oneida counties, along with a portion of Oswego County. New York State Department of Health issuing a warning about a recent uptick in the number of COVID cases. The latest data shows a 22% rise in hospitalization statewide due to COVID compared to the previous week, and reported cases are up 55% during that same time period. Doctors are asking anyone who has symptoms of coronavirus, including fever, headache, and breathing troubles, to get themselves tested immediately. New information being revealed about an incident in Madison County where a man ran off with an 8-month-old baby. Investigators say that 42-year-old Thomas Bettis was involved in an argument with a woman on Oxbow Road in the town of Lenox on Tuesday night. When law enforcement arrived, they say Bettis grabbed the child that was in a car seat and then ran into a wooded area. Crews searched for Bettis and the baby for several hours before they were finally located. The infant was not seriously injured. Bettis currently facing a charge of child endangerment. And the New York State Fair is under 3 weeks away, and today there is a special deal going on where you can get all-day ride passes for just $20. The sale goes until 11:59 tonight. Wristbands will be good for use on any day during the State Fair. Important to note, though, that only 20,000 of the wristbands will be sold. They'll be available online at nysfair.ny.gov/midway. The fair begins August 23rd and runs through September 4th. WIBX News Time coming up on 8:06. Your Weather Center forecast comes to you from Eyewitness News.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, a couple showers early, then breezy, warm, more humid. Another isolated shower or thunderstorm late afternoon and evening, a high of 85. Tonight, an isolated shower or rumble, mild, muggy, near 65. And tomorrow, breezy, mild, muggy, scattered showers and storms near 75. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Cloudy skies, 63 degrees at 8:06. All right, in sports, Bill, here's a bit of a surprise. Mets lost yesterday 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it, too. I watched it.
It's not a surprise. You don't sound surprised.
No, and I mean, you know, I think the Cohen was actually in Kansas City and speaking with the players. He talked to Pete Alonso, talked to Brandon Nimmo, talked to Buck Showalter, So my guess is there was a lot on everybody's mind. I expect the spiraling to continue.
Yeah, I do as well, and I wonder if the conversation is a follow-up to our conversation yesterday, with what Max Scherzer said about, well, they claim they're not trying to win this year or next year, and they're hopeful for 25, but their sights are set on 2026. And I think maybe the conversation was, look, we want to win whenever we can win. We had to tell Max Scherzer a couple of things in order to get him to sign off on the trade so it could save us $55 million.
I have to say that Max Scherzer, I was reading a story today that believes, that talks about how he made a very big mistake by talking about what was talked about in that meeting.
It's completely inappropriate. Completely inappropriate.
Yep. And could affect him going forward, and it's just not cool.
Yeah, it is not cool. It kind of caught me off guard that a guy who's been around that long would spill the what do you want to say? The house recipe?
You're having a private conversation. You turn around and tell everybody what the conversation was. I mean, it's not appropriate in a normal relationship. It's certainly probably not appropriate in a business relationship like this.
The Mets will try to avoid the sweep this afternoon in Kansas City. The Yankees snapped their skid against the Rays 7-2 yesterday. Garrett Cole picked up his 10th win of the season. Anthony Volpe and Giancarlo Stanton each went deep in the victory. The Yankees now welcome Houston to town. I know those two teams love each other. They'll start a 4-game series tonight in the Bronx. I'll be watching a lot more Yankees going forward than Mets. Some good news for the Yankees. Nestor Cortez close to making his return. He said yesterday he's preparing to return from the 60-day injured list during this weekend's series against the Stros. But I can tell you who won't be pitching, and that being 30-year-old Domingo Germán. He's been placed on the restricted list and will not return to the team. He's voluntarily entered inpatient treatment for alcohol abuse. Germán has struggled this season, although he did, of course, throw a perfect game on June 28th against the Oakland A's. Somebody at that time said it was probably the least impressive perfect game of all time. Not to say it's not impressive, but of the 24, if we had to rank them, it just happened to be my opinion that would probably be 24th. One other note, and this is in the football world, you could feel the chill in the air. You know it's coming sooner or later. NFL football is back. That's what this headline says. I'll say the preseason is back. It kicks off tonight. Thursday Night Football with the Hall of Fame game. The Jets take on the Cleveland Browns in Canton, Ohio. The Browns make their 6th appearance in the game, and they will watch franchise legend Joe Thomas be enshrined into the Hall of Fame on Saturday. The NFL season kicks off in a little more than a month.
And I do think there's more heat coming. Just although they are saying that the Northeast is going to be cool. The month of August will be cooler than the rest of the country. That we're not going to be getting that heat wave as of right now. Anyway, we'll see if that holds true. John in Bridgewater, I want to warn you. John Decker's on later in the hour. We'll be talking about Trump. We'll get the latest and what. And Decker is chief White House correspondent for Gray TV. Used to be with Fox News. And John is the only, as part of the White House press corps, he's the only attorney can practice in front of the Supreme Court. He's the only one. And it's always good to get his legal take on what is going on, and in this case, what the former president is facing.
I wonder if John...
And I'll bring up the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden thing, just to keep everybody happy.
I wonder if John Decker, tells friends and family, listen, I'm a rhino. I'm a reporter in name only. I'm actually an attorney, the only one in the White House press corps.
Okay, maybe.
Reporter in name only.
Reporter
I'm a lawyer.
In name only. Listen, that Beach Boys medley, I'm going to play it for you, and listen carefully. This hour, we'll get it in before we get out of here. It's your last chance to hear it before tomorrow we start giving away Beach Boys tickets for tomorrow night. 5 different times tomorrow, somebody will walk away with a pair of Beach Boys tickets for tomorrow night's show at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino. 361-SHOW for details. And coming up in just a few minutes, we'll speak with original Beach Boy. Mike Love is coming up on the radio. 8:11 right now at WIBX.
Hey, Mom. Hey. I completely forgot about Jackie's birthday tomorrow.
Okay. Sorry. Hello.
Hi, Mommy. Are you still at Kenny's?
We've got this.
Kenny Drugs. We got this. And that.
The Rome Capitol Theater presents the summer stage production of Disney's The Little Mermaid. Tonight through Saturday at 7:30.
That voice. I must find it.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Reserve seat advance sale tickets are available now for the summer stage production of Disney's The Little Mermaid, August 3rd through 5th at the Rome Capitol Theater. For more information, visit romecapital.com.
Do you feel like your current checking account just isn't working for you anymore? Maybe monthly fees are cutting into your already tight budget. Or maybe you're looking for more convenience with additional bells and whistles that allow you to accomplish more with less work. Whatever your reason, it might be a great time for you to check out the lineup of accounts at Adirondack Bank. From no-frills basic accounts to paperless high-yield accounts, we're sure to have the perfect solution for your needs. We also offer a large selection of extras such as customizable debit cards, electronic statements, online banking and bill pay, mobile banking, and mobile deposit. We also have a great client services team ready to answer your questions with our live chat. Visit our website at www.adkbank.com. Use the checking comparison tool and see which options are best for you. That's adkbank.com. Member FDIC.
Warner Sales and Service. Building relationships, building trust.
This is Lynn from Warner Sales and Service. Mow like a pro with Hustler Turf Zero-Turn Mowers. Hustler mowers are designed to be maintenance and service friendly for the everyday homeowner while not sacrificing the build and cut quality they're known for. From the heavy-duty frame to the welded steel deck to their trademark smooth track steering, Hustler Turf Zero-Turn Mowers deliver professional-grade cut quality for a perfectly manicured lawn. It's your chance to be the envy of your neighborhood. Come see us at Warner Sales and Service on the Greenway New London Road in Rome, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona. And we'll guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at warnerss.com.
Warner's, where quality still counts. At Warner's.
The Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is your community foundation. Together, we've invested $125 million in the community, thanks to people, families, and businesses that want to give back and build a brighter future. And you don't have to have big bucks to make a big difference. Join us as we invest in the future of our community. Learn more about your community foundation at foundationhoc.org.
Attention, your money is now controlled by the U.S. government.
Picture a world where your every purchase is monitored, tracked, and controlled by those in power to suppress the freedoms of those they see fit. Hi, my name is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and New York Times bestselling author. And right now, I've become very focused on the impending rollout of the central bank digital currency. This is not a work of fiction. It's a terrifying reality looming on the horizon. But there is a bit of good news. I've partnered with Advantage Gold to offer you a solution. They are specialists in converting your traditional assets, like those inside an IRA or 401k, into tangible assets such as physical gold and silver. Don't allow your money to be controlled. Claim your free gold protection kit from Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000, 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor.
Call 800-900-8000.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, portions of the program brought to you by River Hills Properties, the fastest growing real estate company in the area. Listen, I started with them, it was probably almost 15 years ago. Hard to believe. And there was just Bill and Robin, just two agents. They said, we're going to offer real estate that other companies don't offer in this area. It's offered around the country, but not here. And that's how we're going to make ourselves different. That's how it's going to be about the services we provide, all the extra things we do in helping people sell their homes. And that's what they've done. You know, every time your house is shown, your listing agent is there. Imagine if you're selling Mike Love's home, right? And he doesn't want people just roaming through the house without having a listing agent there, right?
Right.
Because they'd be grabbing like 45s off the wall and stuff. You know,
this guy was in the Beach Boys? Just grab that mirror off the wall. We'll just say it's Mike Love's.
Your listing agent is there every time the house is shown. That's the River Hills way. Reach out to them today. River Hills Properties. Why wouldn't you list with River Hills at 315-896-1009? The Beach Boys will be giving away some tickets tomorrow. Excited about this Beach Boys medley.
Very cool.
I wonder if Mike Love would be able to, he could.
Yeah.
Pull out all 6 songs quite easily. We are honored to have the original Beach Boy, Mike Love, on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, who's that, Bill or Jeff?
This is Bill, and this is Jeff over here.
Good morning, sir.
And
good morning.
And we're trying
We're looking forward to coming out to Verona, that's for sure.
We're trying to sell your house right now, just for the record.
My house, in particular, is in Lake Tahoe, and it's not for sale at the moment.
All right. I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm sure there are a lot of those beautiful gold records on the wall and platinum and all that stuff. What a pleasure to have you coming to the area. And the fact that the Beach Boys are still going strong is just awesome.
Well, it's pretty amazing, to tell you the truth. We did 3 nights at the Hollywood Bowl back in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of July with the orchestra and fireworks. And the first time we had stepped on that stage was in 1963. Can you believe that?
Wow.
That was the year Surfing USA became a huge hit for us.
It's amazing the number of hits, and really just especially packed into those early 1960s. I mean, it was hit after hit after hit, but then you come back and Kokomo becomes a #1 hit. That shows you that Beach Boys a legendary status. It's incredible.
That is incredible, and it's a miracle, and we love it because it's a family hobby that became a profession on the basis of my cousin Brian and I getting together and writing some great songs together. In fact, Good Vibrations was researched by a guy in England, and it came in as the #1 song to make people feel good, which is an amazing thing.
Yeah, that is. And I think that's generally what Beach Boys music does. It makes you feel good.
Makes you want to grab a drink and relax.
Yeah, it's great when you see multiple generations. I mean, you see grandparents and their grandchildren out at the shows enjoying the music, enjoying the Beach Boys music, and that doesn't always happen. Usually different generations have different people they like and all that, but it's seldom that you get an act that everybody loves listening to as a family, and that's a great thing.
It really is. So it's funny. I was checking the set list. It's amazing today with the internet how we're able to. Let's say the last 2 nights they played this, and then before that they threw this one in. Any surprises expected for tomorrow night?
What's that? Oh yeah. Well, we like to freshen things up now and again. You know.
Yeah.
And so we'll put in whatever the venue wants us to do in terms of time. We like to do an hour with a 20-minute intermission followed by another hour. So it gives us a lot of opportunity to do all kinds of things from our playlist. And not so you're going to be. You're going to hear all the surfing songs, all the car songs. You're going to hear their pet sound stuff. You're going to hear Good Vibrations. You're going to sing along to Kokomo. But we're going to put in a few things that are maybe not as big as huge, enormous hits. But one called "The Warmth of the Sun," a beautiful ballad we wrote in 1963, and woke up in the morning to the news that President Kennedy had been taken to the hospital in Dallas.
Wow.
So, stuff like that. So we'll do In My Room. We'll do Surfer Girl on the ballad side, and then we'll do Surfing USA and Fun, and I Get Around, and then on the up tempo side, and we even do a Ramones song called Rockaway Beach, which is
that's cool,
a flat out rocker, I'll tell you.
Hey, speaking of like rock and the Ramones and all of that, you guys, it started out being that the beach music, which is legendary obviously for the Beach Boys. And, I don't want to say the songs were somewhat, but in that time, early in the 60s, rock and roll was a little more simple than it was later as things got more complex. And the Beach Boys went from that early sound to a far more complex sound as you traveled through the 60s. Talk about that and what that had to be like as you watched the band literally grow up.
Well, my cousin Brian and I would get together and write songs. And we did, we were inspired by the Everly Brothers and Chuck Berry and all the doo-wop songs from back in the day. Plus, there was a group called the Four Freshmen who did this 4-part harmony. They used to call it modern harmony. I don't know what they'd call it today, but it was sophisticated 4 parts harmony. They were like a jazz harmony group. But we added that complex harmonies to the rock beat, whether it be slow, medium, or fast.
Mm-hmm.
But then when Brian left the group in the touring group in late 1964, Glenn Campbell filled in for a while, and then Bruce Johnston joined us in 1965. He's still with us today. The first song he sang with us was California Girls. But my cousin Brian got in and developed an album called Pet Sounds.
Yeah.
And that has God Only Knows, Sloop John B., Wouldn't It Be Nice, and several other songs on it. And Bruce actually played it for John Lennon and Paul McCartney one night in London. Before it came out,
Mm-hmm.
it was on an acetate. You'd make an acetate, they call it, before you do an LP.
Yeah.
And they got inspired, and they got it together and did Sgt. Pepper's. So there was Rolling Stone magazine did the 500 top albums of all times, and number one was what was it? It was the Beatles album, Sgt. Pepper's.
Yep.
Number 2 was Pet Sounds. So that's pretty awesome.
Well, I think they got it wrong. I think it should have been the other way around. And it's funny.
I always say we need to demand a recount.
I completely agree. and I was listening to an interview with Paul McCartney who completely credited the Beach Boys and Pet Sounds with giving them the inspiration to experiment and so they're crediting you. They got it wrong. Rolling Stone got it wrong. So just my take.
Well, that was a fantastic album, and we spent some time in India together. We went there, and we were at Maharishi's place in Rishikesh, where the Ganges River comes out in the Himalayas. And I even do a song I dedicate to George Harrison, because he was a great guy, and he was totally into it. He studied sitar with Ravi Shankar. He did that song "My Sweet Lord" because of his affiliation with the Hare Krishna people. He was really into it, and so that was a fascinating time. And I still meditate every day. It's been a really beneficial thing for me. Anyway, we're going to have so much fun in Verona at the casino, and we're looking forward to getting back there. We haven't been there for a few years. COVID interrupted us.
It was awful. It was. It interrupted everything. And I will wrap it up, and I know you got to wrap it up. The last thing you want to do is spend all morning on here with us, although we'd keep you forever if we could. But you like talk radio. You're a big talk radio fan.
I do. I think it's, I have to admit I like oldies radio because they'll sometimes play our songs,
Yeah, right.
So I like that part. But talk radio, I think you can, communicate with people and get the word out. I appreciate you guys, Bill and Jeff, or William and Jeffrey, for getting the word out on the Beach Boys coming tomorrow night.
Well,
we're really looking forward to it.
I will be there. We'll all be there. We're excited about it. I want to play you quickly this medley that they're trying to figure out all 6 songs, and I'll play it for you, and you tell me if it's worthy of you guys. I think it is. Tomorrow morning, they're going to try to guess the title of these 6 songs. So listen to this here. All right. It should be pretty darn easy there, except for this first beat. And that one, you know what that one is. Of course, you know them all. But I think they're going to nail every one of them. You got a lot of huge fans up here.
Well, I think that's a fun thing to do. So, anyway, appreciate it, you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
All right.
And thanks for helping get the word out.
We thank you for a lot of memories. Mike Love, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you.
All right, you're
All right,
welcome.
cool.
Thank you.
Mike Love with the Beach Boys.
Nice.
I was trying to keep it going, and I was going to get into the
controversy.
Well, I was going to get in. Yeah, I wasn't going to get into that, but I was going to get into the Squeaky Fromm thing. But I'm like, wow. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't because they said it wouldn't be good. I was told.
Okay.
So I didn't want to end on a bad note. I mean, I love the Beach Boys. I wouldn't want to piss him off. Pretty cool though, right? Mike Love. Tomorrow night and tomorrow morning we'll give away tickets. Give you a chance to win 5 pairs through the course of the morning. Beach Boys tickets. For information on tickets, go to 361-SHOW. It'll be tomorrow night in the Event Center at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino.
The Rome Capitol Theater presents the summer stage production of Disney's The Little Mermaid, tonight through Saturday at 7:30.
That voice. I must find it.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Reserve seat advance sale tickets are available now for the summer stage production of Disney's The Little Mermaid, August 3rd through 5th at the Rome Capitol Theater. For more information, visit romecapital.com.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Let's face it, talking about life insurance is never easy. But after we watched a close friend lose her husband with no insurance, we decided that wasn't going to happen to our family.
Yeah, but shopping for life insurance can be almost as difficult as talking about it.
But then we heard about Ethos Life Insurance. They're a new kind of life insurance, built for people on a busy schedule who don't have time for unnecessary doctor's visits, fine print, or hidden fees. You know, who want to keep it simple.
I couldn't believe how easy it was. We answered a few basic questions, and within minutes, we had an estimate of what it would cost and what sort of policy made sense for us.
I never imagined life insurance could be so affordable.
And accessible.
The peace of mind knowing that our future is secure, it just removes a lot of the fear around getting older and...
Yeah, the unexpected.
I'm glad we talked about it.
I'm glad we went with ethoslife.com.
Go to getethos.com now for your free estimate. That's getethos.com. Getethos.com.
28 years ago, Lori Potasowicz had a dream. With a natural love for pets, she wanted to become an expert groomer. So she set out to become the area's only nationally certified master groomer and launched her business, one paw at a time. With grooming expertise and a lot of loving care, Lori and her talented team began caring for pets one paw at a time. Cuts, shampoos, and styling, one paw at a time. Teeth and nails with no detail overlooked from head to toe, one paw at a time. Getting to know each and every dog and cat by name, the one paw at a time family grew, and Lori had a decision to make. Keep expanding? She followed her heart and decided to keep the one paw family atmosphere just the way it is, so she can keep taking care of the pets she knows and loves, one paw at a time. Lori and her team want to thank the families they serve for putting their trust in them to care for their four-legged family members, one paw at a time. 320 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro near Woods Road. One Paw appreciates your understanding for their current waiting list for new customers.
We have cloudy skies, 63 degrees. WIBX news time is 8:30. This news update is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. Former President Trump will be arraigned this afternoon for allegedly trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election. In announcing the indictment this week, Special Counsel Jack Smith said his office is ready to have all of the evidence, quote, tested in a court of law, end quote, and will push for a speedy trial. The 45-page indictment claims that Trump was determined to remain in power despite having lost the election and being aware that he had lost the election. The man convicted of the worst attack on Jewish people in U.S. history is being sentenced to death. A federal jury decided Wednesday that Robert Bowers should be given the death penalty. Bowers was convicted in June of killing 11 people at Pittsburgh's Tree of Life Synagogue in 2018. His sentence will be formally imposed this morning at 9 a.m. An Oregon man is in custody after a woman claimed that he kidnapped her and held her captive in a cinder block cell inside of his garage. The woman says she was working as a prostitute in Washington State when she was kidnapped on July 15th and then chained up in the suspect's garage, where she was sexually assaulted and held prisoner until she finally found a way to escape. Yesterday, the FBI announced they had arrested the suspect in Nevada. The 29-year-old man is also suspected of 4 other sexual assault cases. Voters in the state of Tennessee will decide in a special election today whether to keep state representatives Justin Pearson and Justin Jones in office. The Republican-dominated state House expelled the 2 Democrats back in April after they took part in a protest on the House floor in favor of stronger gun laws following a mass shooting that killed 6 people at a Christian school. A third lawmaker narrowly escaped expulsion. The IRS is promising paperless tax processing by the year 2025. The Treasury Department says it plans to have taxpayers submit all correspondence digitally by the next tax filing season in 2024. The IRS also plans to digitize the estimated 1 billion historical documents in its catalog in the next 2 years, which will cost about $40 million per year just to store. In New York City, they may be looking at Central Park as another place to put migrants with the city out of shelter space. Yesterday, officials said about 3,000 sites are being looked at, but would not say if the iconic Central Park was among them. Officials said everything is on the table. Migrants have been sleeping on sidewalks outside the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown and the intake center for arriving asylum seekers, which is out of room. More than 2,300 asylum seekers came to New York City last week alone.
I got to say that when we were in New York earlier in the summer, it would have been springtime. We were walking by and there was a woman with no legs sitting down, and she had some kids with her, and she was holding up a sign that said, "Please help me. I am a migrant. I'm one of the migrants. And please give us money. We have no money." And I just kind of figured out it was a scam. And as we were walking even further, the crowd started to dissipate a little bit, and the woman with no legs got up and walked away.
Not surprised.
Yeah. She wasn't a migrant.
Not surprised.
But apparently they're getting a lot of them right now.
Bill, finally here, interesting how much a good microphone will cost you. Even one that's been thrown before. A microphone that Cardi B threw at a fan during a Las Vegas concert.
They're heavy. They could kill somebody, for God's sakes.
She threw it at a fan. Now it's being thrown up for auction. The rap star was seen on video hurling a microphone at an audience member on Saturday after liquid was thrown in her direction. The owner of the production company that provided the microphone tells TMZ the profits from the auction will go to 2 different charities. The mic retails for about $1,000, but it's currently listed at over $90,000 on eBay.
It's gonna be worth something because the fan is now suing her.
Oh, no kidding.
Because it hit her in the head, I think.
Oh, no kidding.
I don't know, but I know there's a lawsuit.
WIBX news time is 8:35. You know, there is a slight chance that we could see severe thunderstorms today, and nobody wants to get hit in the head with hail. There is a possibility we could see some damaging storms, including hail, later this afternoon. Otherwise, here's what we can expect from Eyewitness News.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, a couple showers early, then breezy, warm, more humid. Another isolated shower or thunderstorm late afternoon and evening, a high of 85. Tonight, an isolated shower or rumble, mild, muggy, near 65. And tomorrow, breezy, mild, muggy, scattered showers and storms near 75. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
We have cloudy skies and 65 degrees at 8:36. Do you want another comment here? Comes from
yeah, we have a couple. Go
City
ahead.
Comptroller Bill Morehouse.
Oh, Bill.
They're not migrants, Bill. They're illegal. Aliens should be arrested and deported. That's what he says.
Well, technically, when you look at it, it's not that. I mean, they're asylum seekers, which are treated differently, and the ones that are in New York are processed.
So they have some paperwork.
So it's tricky. But Bill, I understand you're only taking it from what you see on TV. Just letting you know. Fair. And then I knew we were going to get into it with the Columbus thing. Greeley says people do know that if not for Columbus, none of us would be here, right? Maybe they don't. And then Rick, and I knew this was coming. Actually, no, Columbus was not the first European. It was the Vikings 400 years, almost 400 years before Columbus. Well, they should have shared it with the Italians and the Spanish.
A follow-up here from Comptroller Morehouse. He says, you said you're only taking it from what? You said he's only taking it from...
Yeah.
And he says, I'm only taking it from what I hear from Bill Keeler.
I'm loving the fact that we're having a conversation through text messaging.
Yeah, we're working to get Mr. Morehouse in studio on the show Monday morning.
I want him to talk Utica politics. There's a lot to talk about.
And I want to say good morning to the Rat Fink in Little Falls. That's the label it comes as, the Rat Fink, saying, I saw the Beach Boys at the Utica Odd back in 1965.
That's really cool.
That is cool.
And I wonder what that sounded like back then, without the big sound systems. You remember the recordings of the Beatles playing Shea Stadium. Most people in the stadium couldn't hear them because they're just using amps. And it was just a sound disaster, but you were there. You experienced it. I wonder what that sound was like back then.
Probably sounded like this. Good evening, fans. Welcome to the Beach Boys. Yeah. You really can't. There was a time at the Odd you couldn't really understand any of the words.
Yeah, anything. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients right now. The Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. Dr. Shemaleski is an awesome physician who worked in the area for many years, and now, along with Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Kosminski, they're all under one roof, and it's osteopathy. So they take a different approach along with modern medicine because it could mean less medicine for you, and if you could be on less medicine, we all know that is a better place to be. It's the Falcon Clinic. They're accepting new patients right now. Call them today at 315-507-4751. And if it's concrete, it's Brank Construction. B-R-A-N-C-K, Brank. Call today at 315-894-3481 for all of your masonry and concrete needs. From old stone walls, old block walls, retaining walls, driveways, and sidewalks, it's Brank. 315-894-3481. We'll take more comments, take your phone calls, and then John Decker coming up before we get out of here. It's 8:39 at WIBX.
Hey, Mark. I just stopped in to say hello, and whoa, the phones are ringing off the hook. Safe to say business is going well?
Yeah, word of mouth kept us afloat after we opened. Then there was a bit of a lull, but it finally feels like we've been getting a steady flow of new customers over the past few months.
What have you been doing? It definitely looks like it's working.
Thanks. We needed to be able to be found where people are searching, and today that means being found online.
How'd you pull that off? Sounds pretty complicated.
No, it was easy. I went to townsquarelocal.com to see how many people are searching for my services in the area. Then the experts at Townsquare helped build my online presence, so my business could be found exactly when and where customers were looking.
That's amazing. Do you think they could help me too?
Absolutely. Go to townsquarelocal.com to find out.
Go to townsquarelocal.com for a local customer analysis that will show you how many Utica customers are searching for your services online. It's quick and easy. Get your business found online by visiting townsquarelocal.com today.
Go with your gut. Your dog's immune system is based in the gut. A diet lacking in nutrients can cause itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE, Dinovite.
It took a grand total of 2 weeks. The dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out.
Try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
Attention, your money is now controlled by the U.S. government.
Picture a world where your every purchase is monitored, tracked, and controlled by those in power to suppress the freedoms of those they see fit. Hi, my name is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and New York Times bestselling author. And right now, I've become very focused on the impending rollout of the central bank digital currency. This is not a work of fiction. It's a terrifying reality looming on the horizon. But there is a bit of good news. I've partnered with Advantage Gold to offer you a solution. They are specialists in converting your traditional assets, like those inside an IRA or 401k, into tangible assets such as physical gold and silver. Don't allow your money to be controlled. Claim your free gold protection kit from Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000, 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor.
Call 800-900-8000.
Hey, let me tell you about pain. Back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain. You do not have to live with the pain. We're talking about the Omni Surgery Center with Dr. Hyder. This severe pain, it's debilitating, and sooner or later you start with medicine that helps, but it always wears off to the point where it just doesn't work anymore. Living with pain can be excruciating. It impedes your sleep, your diet, your mobility, the ability to work. It just is, it's an awful, awful thing. And the website is killpain.com because Dr. Hyder says you don't have to live with that pain. There are options, and most of them either non-invasive or less invasive procedures that can help you and eliminate the pain. Call today, schedule an appointment, 315-765-8448, or visit their website, killpain.com. Dr. Hyder, the Omni Surgery Center, where modern technology meets cutting-edge surgery. Call 315-765-8448.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Not bad. We had Mike Love just a few minutes ago. Pretty cool, telling us some stories about his transcendental meditation and his time with the Beatles, and how really the Beatles really took from really the Beach Boys the Beatles took from the Beach Boys to develop their sound as they went through the 60s. Pretty darn cool. The Beach Boys will be at the Turning Stone tomorrow night. We're giving away tickets tomorrow morning. We're also...
And doesn't the Rolling Stone, as you said, they have their album Animal Sounds listed as the second...
Sounds. Animal Sounds is the one that has the Bobcat sounds. And
is it Pet Sounds? That's what it's called. I apologize. That it was the second number 2 album
number
of all
two,
time?
Number 2, behind Sgt. Pepper's.
Wow. That is...
I did think I scored some points with him, Davey, when I said, they got it wrong.
Yeah.
They got it reversed.
And
yeah.
Do you really think they're going to go more than 2 hours tomorrow night over there?
Yeah, so I was looking at set lists. Some shows, they'll do just one show, like a 90-minute show. And it's one set. Yeah. But most of the shows they're doing, and it sounds like that's what they're going to do tomorrow night, is they do a first half, an hour, then they take like a half-hour, 20-minute break, and then they come back out and do another hour. So you're talking about a 2.5-hour show tomorrow night. Yeah. You bringing your lady tomorrow night? Your lady friend, Davey?
Yes. I'm bringing
Oh, boy, little big night going on there for you. We're also, if you want to pipe in, 315-736-0186 on your who makes the best sandwich in the area? Is there that comes to mind for you? Who makes the very best sandwich in this area? We're working on that, trying to come up with a list. So you can call us at 315-736-0186. Specifically, which sandwich it is and where you can get it. Up on our website, and I don't think this is offered at It's a Utica Thing on a regular basis, but there's a picture, and it's a pretty cool sandwich that Charlie DiGristina made for the State Fair last year.
Look,
and it's called the Everything.
Yeah, and it's to me, it's a little over the top. I like everything he makes, but I don't know if I could throw it all in between two pieces of bread and eat all that. I mean, go ahead.
It is mind-blowing.
It's greens, Riggies.
So the bread is actually two pieces of upside-down tomato
Pizza,
pie.
yeah.
No, tomato pie. So you got the tomato pie, followed by chicken Riggies, followed by greens, and it's all grilled together with some mozzarella cheese, and that's called the everything. But I don't think it's available here. I think it's only available, and they may have it again at the State Fair. It is, by the way, his It's a Utica Thing truck is one of the most popular food vendors out at the State Fair.
Yeah, that's no surprise.
Winning, they love Utica food.
Yeah.
Out there.
Well, they should.
As they should.
And just go ahead.
Somebody mentioned the Brooklyn Pickle Special, which you described as a sandwich at the new Brooklyn Pickle in downtown Utica right now.
Yes, so it has corned beef, pastrami, Russian dressing, Swiss cheese on rye, and there you go. That's what it is.
Mellows mixed sub, the mixed cold cut sub at Mellows. Mellows is really just basic. This is what we do. We make subs. That's why it's called Mellows Subs.
Mm-hmm.
And you can check that out if you want to pick out a sandwich. You can also send us your picks through the app. It's an easy download. Go to search on your phone, whether it's Apple Play or the Google Apple Store, the Apple Store or Google Play. Those two places, you can download WIBX 950. The app is absolutely free, and you're able to message in and, say whatever it is you want. Might be good, might be something ugly.
And the Rat Fink in Little Falls actually followed up with us to say, we asked about the sound quality at the audit at the time. He said for that era, the sound was what you'd expect it to be. We grew up with transistor radios. I was only 10 at the time. My older brother took me to the show.
All right, very cool.
It's a great memory, it sounds like.
Let's see here. We mentioned today is National Watermelon Day. All the excitement in the world there, if you like watermelon. I do like chunks of it in a glass of ice with vodka. Mm-hmm. Very, very good. If you like something like that, very, very good.
Is there a fruit that you wouldn't take chunks of with ice and some vodka?
There might be, but probably not. Next year, Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana. Did you know there's a place in Indiana? Santa Claus, Indiana is home to a resort area called Holiday World, mm-hmm. and they're adding a new roller coaster there. It's a theme park, and it is a gravy-themed roller coaster. It's speculated to be featured in the Thanksgiving section of the park. Here is the commercial advertising the roller coaster that's called Good Gravy that is coming this upcoming holiday season. Here we go.
Something savory is coming. The silver has been polished. The turkey has been stuffed. The table is set. And the gravy is gone already?
Good gravy. How'd we run out?
It's time to go over the river and through the woods. To grandmother's house we go with Good Gravy, America's graviest coaster.
That seems like the dumbest idea in the world. But it's big apparently out there, especially the holiday season.
And what's the name of the town?
Santa Claus, Indiana is the name of the town.
So I think what the next roller coaster should be called, and you could see right where I'm going with this and the type of swoops and cliffs that you could go off of. It should be called Santa's Sleigh, the ride.
I guess it should be.
Put some reindeer on the front, and you could have a really awesome roller coaster ride.
Here's something you don't see every day in this area, and it's a story that's up on our website. A massive 14-foot Burmese python found living in a New York State garage.
Oh, my goodness.
In New York, a homeowner in Nassau County called the State Department of Environmental Conservation to turn in the python. When officers arrived, they found the snake living in a 5-foot glass terrarium inside the garage, but it had no top on it. The thing could get out. I don't know about you, but they give you the creeps, is what the story says. Anyway, environmental conservation officers scrambled to find an appropriate home for the enormous python And ultimately, they were successful.
So-
Story is up on our website at WIBX950.com.
It was in his house in a cage.
In the garage.
In basically, I don't want to say an aquarium, but in a it was housed in something it's supposed to be housed in. So it was his pet.
But
Somebody didn't just drop that off there.
But it was getting out, I believe.
Okay.
I'm now stalling for John Decker, who says he needs just a couple of minutes. He's actually inside the courthouse. He's going to come out to talk to us and give us a full update on the whole Trump thing coming up in a second. New York State Fair is, believe it or not, just around the corner. There will be other fairs leading up to it. Of course, the Herkimer County Fair being one of them. Traditionally, the Herkimer County Fair comes first, and then the final 2 weeks of summer. So that would mean Herkimer County Fair is probably coming up. Is it next week already? Or the week after that, Davey?
It's the week after, starting the 15th.
Starting on the 15th.
He's got it written down on a calendar.
He's ready to go. And by the way, for the New York State Fair, ride all day at the fair for less. It's $20 a day. 20. Do you understand this?
It's $20 and it's an unlimited ride pass. Yeah.
So the offer is good. 20 days away. For 20 hours, you can score a ride all day wristband for just $20. That's their deal. I'm going to tell you something. They have done an amazing job, the State Fair, in promoting the State Fair this year.
Yeah.
Like they have, and they are releasing news stories and have been doing so every day since the spring about some other big aspect. So everything's trickling out every other couple of days. They're trickling it out, and they've received a lot of publicity.
I wrote a story in the spring about how everybody was kind of up in arms. Maybe that's a strong term, but they were a little frustrated that we were going back to pre-pandemic pricing, which essentially meant because everything had been slashed by 50%. And my point was, you're going to have to pay more if you want to enjoy the state fair. Otherwise, your taxes are going to go up, or the fair might not be as big of an attraction as it always was, because for the last few years, at least, New York State has lost a significant chunk of coin putting on the state fair. You have attendees down. They cut prices on things to encourage people to come out.
And many of the vendors have had backed out over the and it started out they were backing out because they couldn't get into it because of COVID.
Yeah.
And they lost so much money. But then the last couple years, they've backed out because they can't find employees. So you got to run your own restaurant and run the restaurant at the fair, and a lot of these places have not been able to pull it off.
Exactly. So, and I also wanted to mention on the state fair, you said the $20. I talked about the thing in the spring that I wrote. So, I don't think those prices are outrageous. What is it, $6 to get in, and $20 for an all day ride pass? I think that's really cool. The other thing I wanted to do was a tip of the cap to the Boonville Oneida County Fair. I was busy this weekend.
That was a big act. That act on Saturday night was a big country act.
Chris Cagle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time at the show?
I did. It was rainy. It was cold, and the track was muddy, but I had an awesome time.
So Saturday, I was going to take my son up there, but obviously the weather didn't cooperate, and then I had a doubleheader on Sunday, so I didn't get to take him. My mother took him up there, and I want to say thanks to Carl Trainer, who came on the program while you were away, and he gave us a lot of the history on the fair. He also hooked me up with a couple of free entry tickets. So my mother took those with my son, and they had a great time up there. I will say this, though. Unless you buy the unlimited ride pass, because Carter's, I'm not going to do rides. And then he sees, I want to go on this ride. I want to do it again. Oh, and I like that one.
Yeah, you want the unlimited pass.
Especially at the state fair. You're going to spend, if you go ride by ride, ticket by ticket, way more than $20. Even if the kid doesn't want to do that many rides, you will spend way more than $20. That's a great deal they're offering. And they're only, I think they're capping it at 20,000 wristbands. So
you don't
it's a limited time offer.
Yeah, the lines aren't too long. Joe with another sandwich. And this, he says, the Brooklyn Pickle Special. This is the second person to say the Brooklyn Pickle Special. Sandwich is phenomenal with lettuce, tomato, and Swiss cheese with their dressing. Need to have them toast the rye bread, which prevents it from getting soggy and holds it all together. It is one of my favorite sandwiches. Signed, Joe. All right.
I might try that.
Fair enough. And you can pipe yours in, send them to us through the app or message in and get them to us. We'll include them in the story. We'll give you an update on that story later on today. of all the sandwiches that people say are considered the best in this area. Quick break. We'll come right back with John Decker. We're only going to have about 2 minutes with him, so we'll come right back at WIBX.
Stop. School bus drivers needed. Durham Bus Services has a unique opportunity to drive school buses, from minivans to full-size buses. All buses are automatic, air-conditioned, and easier than ever to drive. We're looking for reliable members of our community to learn while you earn and get up to $23.50 an hour, a matching 401k, medical, and paid time off. Apply online at nellc.com or call 315-275-8329.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
And portions of the program brought to you by New York Sash. If you're thinking about windows, now's the time. This month, save 50% on the installation of brand new windows from New York Sash. 50% off. And it keeps your energy bill down, keeps things cool inside when it's hot in the summer, and it keeps that cold out in the wintertime, and it keeps your bill down. You'll be amazed at the savings. 50% off the installation of new windows right now. Go to NewYorkSash.com or stop by the showroom, 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro.
Just quickly, Oneida County Department of Family and Community Services online job fair on our website right now. Starting salary over $51,000, 35 hours a week, 13 paid holidays. Full details on our website.
John Decker is the White House chief White House correspondent with Gray TV. Stepped out of a Washington courthouse just for us this morning. John, good morning.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, good morning. I'm actually in the courthouse as we speak. I'll be in the media room for the arraignment of former President Trump, which will take place at 4 p.m. this afternoon. And this is just unprecedented. And we say that word so often as it relates to Donald Trump. It'll be a fairly straightforward process, about an hour that he'll be here in this courthouse altogether. But he's facing some pretty serious charges, 4 federal criminal counts brought by the special counsel earlier this week.
You're hearing, it depends on who you're hearing it from, how serious these are versus this is a witch hunt. So are these solid charges, do you think?
Well, this is a problematic case for Donald Trump. I'm going to give it to you straight. You know, you may not think about this, but, you know, some of the people that you see who are legal analysts on Fox News, who are their paid legal analysts, are essentially Fox News is their client. So they don't have, the same type of viewpoint that I will give you, which is I have no client. I'll just give you the straight legal analysis.
Yep.
My good friend Jonathan Turley, for instance, he's a mentor of mine. He's on Fox News all the time. He actually put forward the motion to admit me to the U.S. Supreme Court bar. But I think that when he talks, he doesn't talk about the fake elector scheme. That, to me, is the crux of this case against Donald Trump. It's the most problematic aspect of this case for him. And he's not being charged with his speech or what he said. He's got the right to say anything he wants, as do all Americans. He's being charged for his actions. And that's an important distinguishing factor. The other thing, Bill, is this is happening in Washington, D.C. This is not a good venue for Donald Trump. Last election, 2020, 95% of registered voters voted for Joe Biden. So that's the jury pool that he'll be dealing with.
Yeah. It's a serious case. And the unprecedented part is this is happening to not only a former president, but one who is the leading contender for Republicans going forward as of right now for the next spot in the White House.
I know, you can't write this. It's unbelievable. Over the weekend, New York Times poll has Donald Trump up by 37 points over his second-place challenger, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. So, look, this is going to be a race in which he, I think, is the presumptive, even this far away, presumptive Republican nominee. But he'll be dealing with a lot next year as it relates to his legal troubles.
John Decker, thank you so much for taking the time for us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill.
We'll speak again soon. I'll be looking for your report later on tonight. Thank you. John Decker, as we said, chief White House correspondent with Gray TV. Got to go. News straight ahead, and then Brian Kilmeade, sorry, is coming right up. I got to get it all in, including this. You're listening to WIBX Utica Rome. It's 9 o'clock.
It will happen in front of a magistrate judge.
Prosecutors want a speedy trial. Attorneys for the former president say they'll need plenty of time to prepare and also could ask for a change of venue outside of Washington, D.C.
In that city, a Trump social media post said it would be impossible to get a fair trial. We're just getting the transcript of what Hunter Biden's ex-business associate told the House Oversight Committee last week in the Republicans' investigation into the president's son. Devin Archer said that Hunter put his father, then Vice President Biden, on the phone with clients more than 20 times, selling the Biden brand. And he said without that brand, Burisma, the Ukrainian energy company Archer and Hunter Biden were on the board of, would have gone out of business. The U.S. State Department's ordered a partial evacuation of Americans in Niger a week after a military coup in that African country, but the U.S. military is not taking part in that.
Non-essential staff and their families are being withdrawn, we're told, out of an abundance of caution. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has spoken to Niger's ousted president. The U.S. wants Mohamed Bazoum reinstated and a peaceful solution achieved.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. There was a slight increase in unemployment filings last week, 227,000 first-time jobless claims. Tomorrow we get the monthly report on hiring and July's unemployment rate. America's listening to Fox News.
Don't let earache from swimmer's ear, clogged ears, or allergies ruin your day. Get fast, effective relief from the pain and itching with Hyland's Earache Drops, the #1 best-selling earache treatment for over 10 years. See why it's received thousands of 5-star reviews and was awarded Best Over-the-Counter Medicine and Health Product in Earache Relief by U.S. News and World Report. Find Hyland's Earache Drops in the eye and ear aisle at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices of America's greatest heroes. Heroes like Marine Corps Corporal Seth Rasmussen, who lost his life in an Osprey aircraft crash. Tunnel to Towers immediately stepped in to provide his wife and infant son with a mortgage-free home. Help the families of heroes like Seth get through the worst times in their lives. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.